script, Dr. Jones. Whoa! Okay, nice. Really nice. Is this how you engage with everyone you disagree with, Dr. Jones? So much for the tolerant left. So I'm a Nazi now, am I, Dr. Jones? Why? Because all of my friends are Nazis? Because I exclusively interview Nazis on my radio show? Because when they do the salute to me, I do it back. Yeah, I do it back as I'm bit. As I'm bit because it makes you so triggered, Dr. Jones. Do you call everyone who seals you in the clip a Nazi, Dr. Jones? Because if you do, the word is going to begin to lose all meaning. And who would want that? Not me. No, I said not me, Dr. Jones. Why? What did you hear? And that's because you're at the bottom of a very deep hole, Dr. Jones. Sorry, my twin Dobermans are going crazy over there. You haven't been near a Finma or a roof.
Most of our nation's history, two things have been considered too impolite to ask about: religion and medical history. So why then should I be forced to disclose that I've been bitten by a zombie when I don't want to and would rather pretend things are completely fine? Fear-mongering leftists will tell you that the zombie virus has a 100% mortality rate, when research shows that most people who get infected actually make a full recovery and come back to life with the strength of 10 men. Postmodernist Democrats love to proclaim, "My body, my choice." But when poor Bryson made the choice to conceal his zombie bite, the so-called tolerant left treated him with open hostility and dome-blasted him with a crossbow. All because they couldn't tolerate someone with different opinions. So what should you do the next time a cultural Marxist asks you to roll up your sleeve and dramatically reveal your festering zombie bite to the group? Nothing. After all, it was the great Ayn Rand who said, "Stop it. I don't have to answer that question. If you don't stop asking me, I'm gonna freak out." So the next time you're raiding an abandoned gun store and a zombie bites you, just remember to...
Hey Blake, are you... Oh shit!
Oh fuck, get the crossbow!
Already on it.
Wait, why didn't he tell us he was bit?
Yeah, we literally have a cure.
Yeah, I don't think he would have taken it.
Yeah.
In Hollywood than there are white supremacists. That's interesting. That's an interesting thing to say. Of course, she's a mud shark because in the show she's married to a black guy, and I'm going to take that that's some kind of racist.
Jesus Christ.
Jew slop. So two terms I heard today. I learned mud shark and Jew slop. That's fun. Right. Yeah. I mean, the irony of just being like, "Oh man, these Jews are lying to you. There's no fucking white supremacists. This is more Jew slop." Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, with a bunch of white supremacists got this mud shark here, and you know, like, what the.
All right, you assholes.
Oh yeah, I think we're supposed to come on this thing now and talk or something. We're supposed to talk now. Hey, I'm talking. What up, y'all? How's everybody doing? Welcome to this, to me, just me, only me, nobody else. Definitely. Oh shit. Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on?
Nah, not a lot. Just was waiting on you, and I think Bob is also here. Bob, you want to?
Is he
with your presence?
Is Bob down there?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm
there
just
it is.
watching
Yeah.
your stream, Dave.
Oh.
I'm good.
Oh, you're
I'm
just
not
gonna watch my
say
stream?
anything.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I
I'm
guess
just
just
gonna
hop on
watch.
then, Bob.
I'm here to
Whatever
watch. Yeah.
you and Elam are welcome, I suppose.
Yeah. I'm
Um,
good. He's here too. Don't worry.
How y'all doing? It's Wednesday. We do the show on Wednesdays. No, I mean we can talk about it. We just have to be very praiseworthy. Oh, you're not. You're saying you aren't allowed to talk. I thought you were like kind of like being colloquial and referring to everybody. That's crazy. I mean, actually, you know what? That kind of makes a lot of sense now that I think about it. That makes sense. That's probably a smart choice.
Well, I just want to say the past week has been so like sane and reasonable. Like this tragic event happened, and people went, "Wow, that shouldn't have happened." But the dude also like did a lot of bigotry and shit like that. So let's not sugarcoat it.
Hey.
Wait, I'm just reporting things as they happened. Everybody was sane and reasonable about this.
You're gonna lose your job. You're gonna have the full weight of the government come down on you. Okay.
Oh wait. Are you telling me people weren't reasonable about this?
I got bad news about that. Yeah, no.
God damn it.
So in accordance with your video here, Eric, we just watched the first bit of it here. But,
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Was it?
Me why I didn't upload an AMA over this past weekend, and the reason why is because out of the 10 or 15 questions I got since my last AMA, the vast majority of them were asking me my opinion, my thoughts on the Charlie Kirk incident that happened last week. And I was like, I'm not going to upload a video talking about this. I don't even know if I want to make a video about it. I don't know how I want to address it. I didn't even know what I wanted to say about it or if I wanted to say anything at all. So I decided not to upload a video.
Of course, thank you to whoever. Man, there's like a delay on StreamYard right now for me. Everything. That
it was doing that last night to me too. So,
yay!
Thank you for tearing Erotic a new one. Used to be a fan since 2022, but slowly realized Gary bred a culture of losers. F&T is a dead horse. Is dead horse central. Yeah, I mean,
if
true.
Yeah.
True.
If you feel this way, wait until my video tomorrow. I've got a really, really good Nerdrotic video I was going to release today, but I'm saving it for
you're
tomorrow.
releasing a Nerdrotic video tomorrow, so am I.
Oh,
like
good.
that.
We're on the same page.
Yeah. Yes.
If I was smart, I would go ahead and finish slapping together that compilation of all the different criticisms of them from various creators. But yeah.
Somebody wanted me to watch. He did a super cut of like all of his Hollywood is Dying videos or whatever and released that.
Oh god, that sounds awful.
However, it is 3 hours long.
Yeah.
And they wanted me to react to it. I was like, I am not reacting to a 3-hour supercut of Nerdrotic. Which, by the way, every one of those videos are going to say the same thing. So I don't know why you're going to watch a 3-hour video of 20 minutes.
It typically takes me about an hour to break down a 20-minute Nerdrotic video. And that's even with me not addressing every single thing he fucking says in it.
That's 3 me and Jester Bell.
God.
Isn't that like kind of expose him a little bit? Does that not? Maybe I'm misunderstanding what his videos say. But like it seems like if you have that many videos of Hollywood's dying, then it kind of might start to show a little bit that you're just kind of doing a little grifty poo.
Yeah. The video that I have tomorrow sort of addresses that. So the person wanted me to react to that video, but I didn't. I found another one, a recent one they uploaded, that allowed me to talk about that without watching the 3-hour video. So that's what I'm talking about tomorrow. So
see, mine is just me covering his Alien Earth review, where he pretty much criticizes people for being media literate, and I'm like, oh, you're media literate. Thank you for admitting that, Nerdrotic.
Well, I mean, look, at this point, it's been clear to I think us and many people for quite a long time that Nerdrotic is not an honest person. Forget how intelligent or literate he is or isn't. It's hard to know whenever somebody's that dishonest how stupid they actually are. But I mean, at this point, after the past week, man, it's something else. Like it's a whole other animal of hypocrisy that's happening right now. But I jump on what your video's saying there. I agree. I don't want to talk about Charlie Kirk. I'm not going to do like the updates on the shooter and all the details of that stuff. It's not what we're about. However, there's been quite a bit of fallout from the incident that is carrying forward into the present and the future, and it seems to be kind of a big deal potentially going on. So I feel like that's something we could address. We don't need to necessarily into it. I don't know how you feel about it.
I don't have a problem discussing. My video here was that I wasn't going to turn my channel into the Charlie Kirk News Network. Essentially,
No,
I'm not going to make video after video after video. But if we want to have him as a topic on a podcast or something, I don't have an issue with that. I just see a lot of channels going through and like they do 2 videos a day and all of them are on Charlie Kirk.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean,
Like, the dude didn't deserve what happened to him, but he was also a piece of shit. Can we just like acknowledge that and move on?
well, I mean, yeah, it's the weird thing is that there's a lot of praising and glazing going on, and yet they don't like to actually show the things that that he said.
They don't like when you bring up facts or quotes that he
people
says.
have gotten fired for just like tweeting his words, his literal quotes.
I mean, can we understand the difference in this though? Like, whenever someone passes away that they want to justify, they will go back and dig up the most small thing that they've ever done in their life and go, see, this is why they deserve what happened to them because of this thing or whatever. But Charlie Kirk had like a full podcast with tons of videos and quotes of him saying things that are, you don't have to dig very far. They're out there and they're denying those, like the easily accessible stuff that he did. It's
well. So apparently I'm hearing that some people don't believe that he said something about stoning gay people, for example.
They're playing semantics. They're playing semantics. Yeah.
Uniform, etc. And she comes back and she's like, now I'm just talking as Rachel. And she goes, the reason I'm this way is because I'm Christian. And in the Bible, it says, love your neighbor. And really, I approach people in love. And if you're not doing that, I guess you're not really following the Bible. She didn't say that part, you're not following the Bible, but that was kind of the underlying piece there. So Charlie,
128.
What's going on with that?
Well, let's let her say it. 120, I'll respond, and then I got a dash.
I've shared prayers on here before and said, God bless. And that's because my faith is really important to me. And it's also one reason why I love every neighbor. In Matthew 22, a religious teacher asked Jesus, what's the most important commandment? And Jesus says to love God and to love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang on these 2 commandments. There's no greater commandments than these. I believe it's mentioned 8 times, love your neighbor. So yes, everyone belongs, everyone's welcome, everyone is treated with empathy and respect. It doesn't.
I mean, that's the good kind of Christianity, right? That like, hey, man, dude, make your political movement about that, and I don't think many people would complain, but they don't want to do that.
It doesn't say love every neighbor except. There are so many reasons I stand strong in love. I stand with everyone. That's who I am, and the love back and the God bless if you disagree is genuine.
Andrew,
I was just. To Jack's point, I'm dying to know, like, what do you think when Miss Rachel quotes scripture in that way?
I mean, Satan's quoted scripture plenty.
It doesn't just say love your neighbor, though. It does say love your neighbor, except in a sense.
As yourself, but hold on. She's not totally wrong when she says, first of all, the first part is Deuteronomy 6:3-5. The second part is Leviticus 19. So you love God. So you must love his law. How do you love somebody?
Here we go, folks.
You love them by telling them the truth, not by confirming or affirming their sin.
That's
immediately, by the way, Miss Rachel, you might
trying
want
to like
open.
He's trying to, this is what pastors and people in congregations do typically, is he's trying to tell you what it means instead of just taking it for what it says.
Yep.
Right? It's a very basic thing.
I mean,
love thy neighbor.
Someone was detected at your
there's as much text expended on gay people as there is in the Bible, and it's even kind of like iffy if that's even really what it's referring to, but let's just say it is. But there's as much text about that as there is about mixed fabrics, shellfish, things that I bet Charlie Kirk ate shellfish and wore mixed fabrics. I'm pretty sure he wore mixed fabrics, so like polyester, you wear that and it's a sin. Same, so yeah, it's not like it's dumb. But let's see what he says about it, because maybe he supports what she was saying 100% or something. He doesn't.
That Bible of yours, in a lesser referenced part of the same part of Scripture, is in Leviticus 18, is that thou shalt lay with another man, shall shall be stoned to death. Just saying. So, Miss Rachel, you quote Leviticus 19, love your neighbor as yourself. The chapter before affirms God's perfect law when it comes to sexual matters.
Oh, God's perfect law.
Right. So again, semantics. Did he say himself that that's what he believes? Not specifically, but he did say that in the Bible, which he follows and is a believer of, that they say that in the Bible, the book that he supposedly lives his life as a guidelines by.
That reminds me of Critical Drinker saying, if I was a cynical man, I'd say, and then he says things that he wants to say.
By the way, I add this to assets, so if people need the good Kirk, we have a little bit here.
Well, here's one thing you can be sure of, mister. Leave any bigotry in your quarters. There's no room for it on the bridge.
So we can infuse the stream with the good Kirk occasionally, because
So let's I want to get into kind of just we talked about it a bit yesterday. Eric was on stream with me a bit, and it's relevant. We can look at these examples again that we looked at yesterday of like literally all of these the typical chuds that we've all covered for a long time now. They're all doing just overt cancel culture, like shameless fucking canceling of people. And I mean that in a literal sense, because it's not just a bunch of people calling somebody out on Twitter. It is calling people out whenever the government is listening and is willing to, put its weight on companies in order to get somebody fired or whatever. That's fucking canceling. That's fucking, that's censorship. That's literally what it is whenever the government's involved, not whenever somebody says, hey, don't say that, I don't like that. Or whenever YouTube says you can't use those words. That's not censorship. It's not a violation of free speech anyway. So here's this.
There it goes.
Spewing that type of hate and celebration in the face of this, and I believe that there will be, and I certainly plan to hold them accountable. So if you are out there and you are celebrating the political assassination of a man who was exercising his free speech, a very foundational element, a cornerstone of who we are as the United States of America, you should be held accountable. You should be fired, and that is the beginning.
The caucasity to be on TV and say, he was a champion of free speech, and if you don't like it and you say something negative about it, then you're gonna have face consequences. You're muted, Eric.
I'm saying, like, are they even listening to what they're saying? Like, you're saying that you believe that it is wrong, partially wrong, I'm assuming, for what happened, because he was a champion of free speech, and that's why you're lifting him up the way you are, right? This is part of the reason he's become their messiah for whatever reason. But in that same breath, you're like, and we're going to go after people for also exercising their right to free speech. And since we can't do this to them, we're going to prosecute them, get them fired from their job, cancel them. Like, I'm not out here talking, like, I don't always agree with what people are saying about every person that has something happen to them, but I certainly couldn't be like a free speech absolutist and then go, except for, because that's what these guys do. It's not hate speech, it's free speech. It's not violent speech, it's free speech. Like, this is, again, we talked about this the other day. This is sort of, I think Dane and I spoke about it on your stream. Was it last night or yesterday or whatever?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
It's the facade of their foundation. It's not real. If you're somebody that says you believe in free speech, absolutely, then in this case, we're talking about like the actual, like, legal definition of free speech, which is the government oppression of your speech. This isn't even like a hypothetical. This is the definition of what free speech is.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and it's fucking, I mean, look, even if they did, because that's a different subject altogether, actually, because here's the thing. I don't even necessarily believe that it's always a bad thing if somebody, like, it loses their job because they post something, on social media. Like, that's beside the point, but we can get into it because, well, there are companies that look, Gina Carano didn't get fired, but didn't get renewed basically because she was a public facing person representing a couple of different big brands, Star Wars, Disney, and she was fucking it up. It'd be like me wearing a Burger King uniform working at Burger King, and I go down the street, go into the library, and take a dump on the fucking floor. You know, Burger King's not going to like that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't blame them.
I mean, we can see the hypocrisy, because like all these guys will defend Gina Carano, but then you look at the Gretchen Felker Martin situation. I agree. I think her joke was in poor taste, but like all these chuds are like celebrating it, and it's like, wait a minute, I thought you were the guys who were all for the edgy jokes, which that very much fucking was. I thought you guys were all for that shit, but apparently now you're against it.
I also want to point out, I don't have an issue with how an employer handles this situation with their employees, whatever they think is best for their company, except when it's done in like, firing somebody because they're gay or something like that. If we're talking about a free speech thing and contracts and stuff like that with companies, that is completely different than the government coming down on schools and organizations that they are in control of and saying, if you don't do this thing, you are going to get in trouble. If you don't fire this person, you are going to get in trouble. Because to me, that is the textbook definition of what free speech is the government not controlling what we say. Private companies, we could argue to the ends of the earth about what we believe and how we feel about it and that. But I think when it comes to the government, it's very clear they should not be telling people what they can and cannot say.
Absolutely.
Like that's it. That's the First Amendment. That's the First Amendment. Like, I don't know why these guys seem to, like, when Pam Bondi said that we should just go after people or whatever. I mean, like, to be quite fair, we know that the Supreme Court is already fuck all, right? We get that. But like recently they sided with the transgender bathroom situation, which is something I didn't see coming, because they couldn't.
I didn't see it either, but it's good. Yeah.
Couldn't find a way to weasel themselves out of it, right? I think when it comes to free speech, just like with the Second Amendment, it would be really hard for them to weasel their way out of it. So I think if this ever ended up in front of the Supreme Court, it would not be good for the Trump administration, because even Trump,
I'm crossing my fingers.
He came out and said,
Supreme Court, man,
the day before, that he would be up for banning pride flags, but he knows it.
Oh yeah, he was talking. He said there are a lot. He was talking about trans flags in the same context of like going after Antifa, and then some fucking crazy, plant journalist was like, "What about trans Tifa? I've never fucking heard of that." I think
is Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend is the guy that asked the question. That's who it was.
Oh my god!
And the thing is, Trump said he would do it, except he knows that it would get overturned because of free speech. So he knows this. He's aware of this. Most of them are aware of this. So it's all, again, political peacocking and companies caving to the government, even though they know that it's a First Amendment violation. So whatever happens with this, I think we're going to see a lot of lawsuits. We're going to see a lot of lawsuits.
Last week we covered this.
Yeah.
This was just last week. Gary was
free speech is dead.
Yeah.
Free speech is dead in the UK, but apparently over here it's okay if free speech is dead, because you're saying something about you hurt our feelings about someone that we don't think you should be making fun of. How many times do we see memes of George Floyd floating around on the internet, right? How many times do we see that? These people don't respect anyone's death. They don't.
That actually brings up something. It reminds me of something I have here. Where is it?
Well, here I have
So he was killed on camera. No one's family deserves to have to witness that. Okay, it's unthinkably cruel that people would then go on the internet and use their platform to say about an innocent man that I don't care that he's dead. He's not a hero. He's a scumbag. He shouldn't be celebrated. That's George Floyd I'm talking about there, not Charlie Kirk. Because those are things Charlie Kirk said about George Floyd.
Right.
I had the Kurt Busiek tweet pulled up right here where he says that. Yes.
Oh, well, I think we both posted in the server that we had some different version of it, right?
Yeah, probably, but yeah, that's Charlie Kirk's take on how you treat somebody killed on camera. So,
but if you say this, people would say, "Oh, you're celebrating his death." No, I'm talking about the words that he said when he was alive. These are things that he said, and I'm also talking about people's reactions to this. I've already stated that, and Bob, you said it too, and I'm guessing you've said it in your way, Dane, is nobody thinks anyone should be going out there and like just taking people out with sniper rifles. Like, I don't think anybody's advocating for that. I also think that we need to understand that Second Amendment right that these guys fight for, that they talk about, is also right after the First Amendment, which is our right to free speech.
Mm-hmm.
We should all be advocating for that, whether we agree with it or not. And I think we all have put up with it. Like, look at it. We have people who have made their entire careers on YouTube saying things that we don't like. And we have to dismantle it and fight back against it with our free speech, because they're not going to go in and take them off. YouTube's not going to take them off the platform. They're not going to remove them. But if you even post one Charlie Kirk video with him saying something that they think makes him look bad, that's celebrating. Celebrating his death. It doesn't make any sense.
Meanwhile, truly the most vile fucking people on the internet are absolutely using it as a pretense to, they want us dead.
He gives a fuck anyway. He doesn't live in this country. Shut the fuck up.
I mean, first of all, why are you like? I mean, I would not even put him in the same league as fucking Charlie Kirk. Oddly, in a weird way, I guess if I had to choose, I'd choose that I had more respect for Charlie Kirk than I do Shad, which is fucking weird to say, but like, but like, yeah, this is fucking crazy to act like you are part of some targeted thing, and it's like, no, he was targeted by one dude, because one dude who, lots of people fucking had a problem with what Charlie Kirk said. This guy in particular, I guess let it build up and whatever. We don't know this full story yet, and just really to extremes, obviously. And
I mean, that's one of the things. Like, they are really pushing the idea that like some wild, crazy leftist killed him. And the fact is, we don't know the full story about who killed him. It looks like probably a groiper, but we don't know. But like,
it doesn't even matter.
Did you see Nick Fuentes' video that he uploaded?
No, I did not see that.
You haven't seen the most recent clip?
No.
Let me pull this up. By the way, trigger warning on this one.
I want to point out too that like the texts that came out, the transcript of the text between the shooter and his apparent girlfriend, roommate, whatever, that is supposedly transitioning, that exonerates her of anything. Like, if those texts are to be believed, which a little bit of doubt on anything the FBI releases at this point. Kash Patel is a fucking Trump butt sucker, and whenever you're the head of the FBI and the president comes out before anybody knows anything and says it's the radical left, you're probably going to be compelled to find something to support that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
So this Nick Fuentes clip, I want to say there's some language in it. Okay. Trigger warning on the language, but we're only going to watch the first, it's a 4-minute clip. It's a lot at the end that we don't have to watch, but like the first minute and a half or so, you get to understand why people that follow Nick act and behave the way they do. Mm-hmm. So let's just watch this. And I want you guys, again, the language, I have to apologize because this is off of Twitter. So we'll see. It might even get removed from our videos here. I don't know. If it is, this is on Twitter, available for people to watch. But anyway, he got $100 super chat from this person. And then this was his continuing thought from this.
Hate it that I have an army. It's not just that I'm telling the truth. It's not just that I'm a good broadcaster. They hate that I have an army. They hate that I have a Revolutionary Guard. They hate that I raise my fist and the groypers go into action. It eats them up, because they got money and they got shows and they got stuff, but I got shooters. That's a metaphor. I got shooters in the streets.
Whoa, when was
not
this?
Literal shooters, but I got
this. I'm assuming it was recent. It was uploaded today. The clip was uploaded today.
And he's talking like this.
That's why I think he said metaphorically, is because he was trying to make sure that
he
was
still, man. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I wouldn't even, like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Right.
But even outside of time, like, if you listen to what he's going to say next, it's like, this explains sort of why people like the alleged shooter of Charlie Kirk feels the way he does. Here we go.
Got niggas. I got my niggas and all my niggas got me. I raise my fist and the groypers show up because they know I got their back and that's why they have my back and they fucking hate that. The system hates that I have an army. They hate that I have it's all the ingredients of the things they hate. True belief, willing to die, telling the truth, totally ungovernable, unmanageable, and an army.
From what I understand,
that's it. Yeah.
From what I understand, there's very little about being a groiper that is ideologically grounded in anything like true belief. It's basically just being a fucking edgelord shithead because you're antisocial, probably, you know, bullied and stuff like that, and feel like you get to take it out on the world. And yeah, they align with they don't like Jews and stuff like that.
If I remember correctly, and you guys might know better than I do, but I remember that the Groypers was a direct response to like Turning Point USA,
There was
right?
in 2019 there was a thing called the Groyper Wars, which came to be called that, which was where Fuentes, who believed that Charlie Kirk and TPUSA wasn't far enough right, they weren't crazy enough, and they were trying to either push them further right or to get them out of the way so they could become, you know, the mainstream thing for the youth. And whenever it didn't really work out for them, because, you know, obviously, like Charlie Kirk and Nick Fuentes weren't even that much ideologically. There's not a lot of distance between them. The difference is Charlie Kirk was smart enough to, you know, put a veneer of civility over it, which is why they're able to get away with saying the shit they're saying about him now, because he didn't just come out and say all this stuff as overtly. I mean, sometimes he did. But yeah, he wasn't like Nick Fuentes. He didn't have an army of little shitheads that just act like shitheads all the time. They were a little bit smarter about it. They knew how to get in with the establishment. And so the Groypers, there was a period in 2019, 2020 where they would go to the whatever speaking events that Charlie Kirk was doing, and they would end up, I think there was two incidents where they basically were almost every question that got called on was a Groyper in the audience. Like they were that fucking insistent on filling out all the.
This is interesting. I just found out that clip is from less than a month ago, meaning that clip was probably right before.
Oh shit!
The shooting.
Jesus Christ!
It was a Sam Hyde collab with it was Sam Hyde collab.
So I watched I watched a stream from a guy called he used to go by Connor Points, I think. He's like a kind of a centrist guy. I saw him debate Vosh one time. But like I watched some of his stream randomly the other day, like the day after the shooting, and he was watching Nick Fuentes' most recent stream, which was on Rumble, had broken records for views on Rumble. And Nick showed up and was very immediately striking certain tones that was like partially like he did seem legit rattled that happened. Like he couldn't believe it, and also, wait a second, I'm also in the public sphere, and that could happen to me, kind of thing. You know what I mean? But then also he seemed very much interested in walking back the animosity that they had between the two groups. And to me, that said something that it didn't say necessarily that he knows that this guy was a Groyper, but it says that he knows that it's possible. You know, so I don't know.
I would say that, and somebody else mentioned in the chat here, I don't remember who it was. Sorry, I have to scroll up, but mentioned something about like all the information they're giving out on social media is going to tank the case because it's just, they're revealing too much that they're not going to be able to, the case will probably get thrown out or at least be unable to get a jury because they're releasing way too much information publicly already. Like all these text messages and stuff, these things shouldn't be public right away. They've still got to go to trial.
Probably shouldn't. But I mean, speaking of, I have this right here, and I think it's worth going over just to kind of address the trans issue of the whole thing. So this is what you see of their exchange here. She clearly didn't know anything about it, and when she did, she pretty much, once she was like, "Holy shit, you're serious," she stopped responding to him. So this is him. He's gone. He's gone to wherever where the shooting happened. So September 10th, roommate / I guess partner, whatever, received a text message from Robinson, said, "Drop what you're doing, look under my keyboard." Looked under the keyboard, found a note that stated, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it." Police found a photograph of this note. The following text exchange then took place. After reading the note, roommate responded, "What? You're joking, right?" He said, "I'm still okay, my love, but I'm stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come home. I got to grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I'm sorry to involve you. You weren't the one who did it, right?" "I am. I'm sorry. I thought they caught the person." "No, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I'd planned to go grab my rifle from the drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering. Why? Why did I do it? Yeah, I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I am able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it. How long have you been planning this? A bit over a week, I believe. I believe I can get close to, but yeah. So, and then after that, she just isn't responding.
Is this the Discord or the text messages?
This is the texts.
Because there's a lot of people, and I'm not talking about just on the left. There's a lot of people across the board that do not believe this is the real exchange between them. A lot of people. I'm talking like Steve Bannon, Candace Owens, even Nick Fuentes doesn't believe this.
Disinformation agents. I can't take their concern. Like honestly,
I'm saying that them and people on the left are saying this doesn't seem like a real thing.
But I mean, those two in particular, if they're saying something like that, my impulse is to go, oh, it's definitely real. I'm not saying
I'm saying that to me that, so I saw people on the left saying that this seems sus before I saw their responses, and then they were also saying it. So I don't think they would be saying what people on the left are saying just because. I think they would just probably go along with it. I think there's an issue here because this doesn't feel like a real conversation between people. Even me reading it doesn't feel like a real conversation. This seems fabricated.
I mean, like I kind of get the vibe of it. I'm not trying to like.
These are two really young people talking to each other. This is not how they would talk to each other.
22 years old or so.
Still, like I work at the club with like Gen Zers all day long. They don't talk like this. They don't have conversations like this in text messages. Matter of fact, most of them don't even talk in text messages. They talk in Snapchats and stuff like that. So I don't believe this. I don't think this is real. I think this is them fabricating evidence. Why would they release this now to the public? It doesn't make sense unless they were trying to paint a narrative.
So, if the narrative isn't the official narrative that we're getting isn't accurate, then what's the narrative?
I think they're trying to make the roommate's involvement seem like it's more than what it is. That's what I think they're doing.
I will be honest.
This is a really bad job of that, I think.
Well, I find this suspicious simply because this guy is saying such incriminating stuff over text. Like,
yes.
To plan stuff out
in
so
detail,
thoroughly and then say this incriminating stuff in text is.
And he's also okay. So the other issue is here he's being very candid about this. Supposedly he turned himself in, but now he's not cooperating. Like it does. Some of this.
He hasn't even. You're right. He hasn't.
That's what I'm saying. So something is either this is real and what they're saying about him is fake, or his relationship with the roommate is fake, is real, and this is real, and then him turning himself in is fake. One of those things can't, like, all of this can't exist in the same bubble. It doesn't make any sense. And the Discord messages, which the Klippensteins released a bunch of Discord messages that I read yesterday, doesn't sound like the same person. Like the Discord messages that were written by him, confirmed by him, that you see his screen name and stuff on it, do not sound like the same person that wrote these text messages. It doesn't sound the same. And I can tell you this, when I text with people, my texting format is the same across everything. Like I talk the same everywhere. I don't talk differently depending where I am.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Right.
So, like,
yes, Ecom says he's seen you talking memes. Yeah, memes was another.
No
thing
matter what, there was always going to be a shadow of doubt over anything the FBI releases at this point. For me, you literally can't fucking. I mean, I disagree with this. I've said it. I'd say it to my girlfriend, like verbally. We say it in texts. You know, it's sometimes kind of half jokingly. You know, sometimes it'll be like.
But at this point, we don't even have proof that the roommate is trans. Like that's the thing. We don't even have proof of that. Like, there's no proof that the roommate is trans or gay. There's also no proof that he was gay. There's no proof that he was dating this trans roommate or even in a close friendship with this roommate. There was multiple roommates. So we don't know any of this. None of this is made public to us. We just have these really basic text messages.
We don't know. So this is another reason why it's kind of not a good idea to just get into the weeds on this shit because for content, because we just don't fucking know. And all we're doing is essentially potentially platforming either fucking Trump admin FBI narratives or, you know, it's a whole shit show.
I think, like you were saying, what was the purpose of them putting it out? I think disinformation. I think they're trying to like cloud up what's real and what isn't in news cycles. And that's why they're doing this, because they honestly, at this point, I don't think they're going to be able to hold a case that seems like it's a fair case. I think that they've already decided this person is guilty, whether they've actually gone to court or not, and they've screwed themselves. We're going to see how the justice system handles this, because I don't see any way they could do this case in a way that even remotely resembles the way a normal case.
You know who the worst, the objectively worst Star Trek character is?
Neelix.
Chakotay.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I would still vote for Neelix, although Jonathan Archer's up there. But Chakotay is easily my least favorite first officer.
Oh no.
And,
He
Robert
posted
Beltran's
something,
not
didn't
helping
he?
it.
He posted
Oh yeah,
something.
Robert
didn't he?
Beltran is
Oh,
known
no.
for posting cringe.
He likes to occasionally post cringe. He doesn't post that often, but like every time he last times he posts, I'm like, oh fucker. You keep on reminding me why you're like my least favorite first officer in all of Star Trek. Well, anyways, here's his post. Charlie Kirk was first a Christian. Even in the most hostile places, he spread the gospel with patience and love. For that, he was hated, and his words were twisted out of context. We've lost a powerful voice for Jesus and a great patriot. I pray for those filled with such hate.
Oh my God. Now, as opposed to so we got the virgin Robert Beltran over here, but we got the Chad Tim Russ.
Yeah, we actually got a couple from Tim Russ here. This is what he posted afterwards. Oh, this is what he posted before.
This is before.
Yes, this is a couple days before. But Tim Russ in general is just awesome. Like his social media posts are just shit. Where I'm like, yes. Oof.
Yeah. Tuvok, Tim Russ, they're basically both just the best characters on Voyager, best in my opinion, which is objectively the worst Star Trek show. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna keep calling things objective. I promise.
You see, I would go for Picard at this point, but
yeah, I guess so. I kind of haven't.
Voyager is
being a Star Trek show.
If we're talking before the soft reboot, then yeah, I'd probably say Voyager was the worst. Although I do like Seven, the Doctor, Janeway, and Tuvok, of course.
Well, look, I don't think any of us are here. Or do we have more from Star Trek, guys, or what? Do we want to do the Anson Mount crap?
We can go over that as well. I mean, there was also the one. Let's see. There was the other thing that Tim Russ did. We can go over.
I didn't see that.
It is less, but it is. It's still. This was actually what he posted a day after Robert Beltran.
Facts.
It's like, thank you.
Yep.
Just a very simple response. But yeah, we should probably go over Anson Mount too, because he is
Mount, man. Like you can't. I don't know if there's ever been anybody, not in Star Trek anyway, that's like gone from being like my favorite dude to suddenly just like, oh man, now I can't wait for the accident to happen. I can't wait to see you in your little
well, that's
wheelie chair.
That's
beeping around.
Like he's like we can get into it, but like. He posts cringe stuff on social media somewhat often, and then usually ends up deleting it and apologizing it. And it's like
he's kind of just the most lib-brained,
yeah.
Guy. Do you have that one? I don't have it immediately handy.
Oh yes, I can. I think I have it. Wait, do I have it? No, I don't. I just have Tim Russ, and I can get it.
And what's the thing about this one is, even if he was saying something I generally agreed with, which he's not, but like within it, he's contradicting himself. With the shit he's saying, he's just like vibes posting, and it doesn't fucking make any sense. Because maybe he mistyped or something, but he says something like, nobody's ever been killed for their words. It's like, what are you talking about? And then he's also, yeah.
Okay. Get this over to StreamYard. Here we go. The righteous tone I'm seeing from people on the left are relishing their opportunity to dance on the corpse is utterly horrifying. Let me be clear. I agree with pretty much nothing Charlie Kirk stood for, but certain so-called progressives should check themselves. A 31-year-old father of two is dead for the heinous crime of speaking his mind. I didn't find Kirk's words to be in any way helpful, but no exchange of thought excuses assassination nor the enjoyment of such. Such childishness should have no place in the United States. Peace. Okay. And now a few words to certain children, most particularly pundits on the right. Their insistence on using the broad accusation they did this is incredibly dangerous and false. No one's words ever got anyone killed.
What?
But one thing right and left wing pundits have in common is that they're making a lot of money right now. Last night, I actually listened to a pundit bemoaning the loss of her friend before cutting into a steak commercial. It's obscene, and the current media landscape is a fake war in which social media is weaponized. Don't fall for it.
Okay, well,
my
that's
big
true.
objection
The last
is
part is true.
there are elements of it that are true. My big objection is that he's both sizing it as if they're both equal. They are not both fucking equal.
Well, and
Let's
also
be
in the
real.
first batch of tweets, he says he was killed for speaking his mind. This one, he says no one's ever been killed for their words.
Yeah, contradicting himself. Yeah, just immediately. Yeah.
I mean, would a politician count? Because I mean, Hortman.
Yeah.
And there was an attempted murder after that as well, based on political ideology, I guess.
You know who I'm pretty sure has never killed anybody for their words? What's up, Ryan?
Oh,
I didn't realize
brilliant segue.
I didn't think that was a segue. Have you
No,
guys?
I didn't think that was a segue.
Have you guys heard the sermon from the Virginia pastor about Charlie Kirk, the viral sermon?
No, I did hear one from James. What's his name? Tellerico.
This one's pretty viral. Do you want to hear what he has to say? I'm not a Christian, but I think it's an interesting.
Yeah, I've actually got something from a Christian as well to kind of. But yeah, check it out.
All right. There you go. This is pretty powerful, by the way.
And I do not celebrate the killing of anyone. Charlie Kirk did not deserve to be assassinated.
True.
But I'm overwhelmed seeing the flags of the United States of America at half staff, calling this nation to honor and venerate a man who was an unapologetic racist and spent all of his life sowing seeds of division and hate into this land.
Base.
It gets better.
And hearing people with selective rage who are mad about Charlie Kirk, but didn't give a damn about Melissa Hortman and her husband when they were shot down in their home, tell me I ought to have compassion for the death of a man who had no respect for my own life. You do not become a hero in your death when you are a weapon of the enemy in your life.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I want to point out that there's even more so than I realized, Nerdrotic has turned into just like he's traipsing the corpse of Charlie Kirk around, and apparently we could have guessed. I'd never thought about it before, but we probably could have guessed that they're big fans of Charlie Kirk.
No way. Shocking.
Speaking of
no,
that,
they're all
Tim
doing
Russ,
it, by the way.
Speaking of that Tim Russ post that you just showed, I don't know if you've seen this, but it's not just Bethesda that he's going after. It is also Tim Russ trying to get him canceled. Star Trek Adult Pretender. Look, this guy is not a fan of anything, man. You don't fucking refer to actors as adult pretenders if you have any fucking respect for the fucking craft of acting at all. You know what I mean? Like this is clearly somebody that will find any way possible to say the most cynical, dismissive thing about whatever it is. You know what I mean? It's fucking so obvious. But
coming from somebody who on a weekly, daily basis goes about pretending to be annoyed that they put a black person or a woman in something, it is just the height of hypocrisy for him to call anybody an adult pretender. He's in
that's
his
not
50s.
all he pretends about, because he also pretends this. Let me find that post. So you guys saw that there were some people blaming South Park or whatever.
Yeah.
He responded to that. He said, "No one blames South Park. Fuck off. I do blame the corporate legacy media and access media for playing its part in dividing this country with their endless bullshit."
I mean, this is just classic. This is how the Conservatives are trying to play this game by
It's
saying
Darvo.
that, yeah, everybody on the left is the one dividing. If you just all agreed with us and did everything we wanted, then we wouldn't have a divisive country, which is, I mean, basically, yeah, in a fascist state, you don't have a divisive country. So if that's the country you want, if reporting the truth is divisive, then I'm sorry, but it's divisive.
No, I'm not going to sit here and defend whatever he's considering corporate legacy media. I mean, I guess we're just kind of broad scoping it. Then, yeah, I can see how there's an argument to be made that they have played their role in, for sure, in division culturally and socially and stuff. But I don't know that was like the intention as much as just like catering to whatever people were looking for, right? Whereas like these guys' intention is to create and sow division, to pound on fault lines.
I mean, legacy media absolutely plays a role in this, and I'm no massive love of that. But like, yeah, what Nerdrotic and all these fucking outrage grifters do is just far worse. Pretty objectively, I mean, I think one of the key things that keeps legacy media in check is the fact they can be sued if they lied, whereas these guys just kind of can get away with it.
And for anybody that missed it, this is the thing that just kind of blew my mind yesterday or the day before, or whatever. This post.
Oh yeah, this is wild. And
Indiana Jones game. You got Indiana Jones. Literally, just all that happens in 9 seconds is he goes up to the cat and he says, "Get to it here." Nice place.
You don't care much.
You don't care much about these fascists, do you? He says to the cat. That's all that happens.
So what I love about the clip and how all these guys are getting outraged about it is that this is them pretty much saying Charlie Kirk's a fascist.
And them too, and anybody that likes Charlie Kirk. It's
exactly the same as there's the start of an infamous Star Wars tweet where they all jumped on that and said,
Also,
"Oh, you're calling us all racist."
I posted a thing to my community board or whatever on YouTube here yesterday about like sidewalk chalk and pissing off fascists or whatever, and I had someone comment under there about like why am I saying this about Charlie Kirk or whatever. I didn't even mention Charlie Kirk in the post at all. It was literally a meme about like keep painting the sidewalks because it pisses off fascists or whatever. No mention of Charlie Kirk whatsoever. And somebody's like, "Oh, Charlie Kirk." Well, I'm like, where did I mention Charlie Kirk in this? If you see the word fascist and you think of Charlie Kirk, that's not on me.
Let me show you guys something. I showed it on stream yesterday, but like this fucking blew my mind too. There's a video that went up, I think, day or two after the murder of Charlie Kirk, which once again, we'll say nobody here fucking condones or celebrates or thinks that's a good thing at all.
No.
But it's like the day after, 2 days later, there's a video that went up on a channel called Sean Grenier, The Canvas. As far as I can tell, he's never talked about Charlie Kirk, at least not in video titles or anything. This video that he put up is called "A Nazi Who Gave Speeches on Campuses Was Assassinated in 1967. And once again, it doesn't mention Charlie Kirk. I mean, yeah, obviously this is fucking bait, and they fell for it.
Yeah.
They fucking fell for it. Why is Charlie an evil Nazi? Well, no, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? And there's a bunch of people mad that he would have the fucking gall to upload a video about a Nazi that was assassinated by another Nazi in 1967. So soon after Charlie Kirk was killed.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you? That's fucking crazy. It's crazy how fucking, yeah.
When the word fascist is said and people go, "Oh my God, how dare you insult Charlie Kirk?" It's like, so he's a fascist and you're okay with it.
Let's talk about the word fascist.
Cool.
This is a thing I've seen going around a lot, and holy shit, it's stupid. So this is under Nerdrotic's post that we just looked at. This was posted. If you think it's okay to assassinate someone because you disagree with them, that makes you a fascist, because that's what actual fascists do. Pass it on. It's literally not anything like that's not what fascists are known for. That's they think that, just like I've seen it before, where there's like a video of some Nazi getting punched and they're like, "Oh, it looks like that's the fascist if he's punching somebody." I think they think it just means doing violence.
these guys, they don't understand these terms, but they celebrate not understanding these terms. They encourage people to misunderstand these terms.
And then they get offended
frustrating.
that people call them this stuff, and they don't even know what
Yeah.
it is. How dare you call it? I don't even know the meaning of the word.
Yeah, considering they're complaining that apparently everybody on the left is calling everyone on the right a fascist without understanding what the word means, it's pretty weird.
Mm-hmm.
It is sad. It's very sad.
Fun fact: fascism's a far right thing.
100%. You literally can't be. I mean, you can be an authoritarian and be on the left, but you know.
This isn't even new, by the way. With my sort of media historian hat on, it was a joke from like the mid-60s to the 1990s that hippies would call everybody a fascist. It was a joke. So to suggest this is suddenly something new that's happening because things that are fascist are being called fascist is ridiculous.
Yeah, and I want to address something real quick because I saved a comment. I've seen a couple of things kind of expressed like this. Generally, hold on, Gordy wants out, fucking yelling at me.
Mm-hmm.
I should point out that Ryan Canal.
Real quick, we got a super chat a while ago. I wanted to kind of shout out. I hate Kirk with a passion, and even I was horrified by the assassination. I swear almost every day is turning into something out of V for Vendetta. Yes. Well, thank you for the super chat, Jack. And yeah, I agree.
So when it comes to this, it's so somebody had said in Discord or something that I think it might have been you, Ryan, that you were like they're using this, you know, to kind of grift or whatever, and I was like, I think it's worse than grifting. I think what's happening is it's actually bigger than grifting. This is
it definitely is. Just to clarify what I was saying, there are people.
This is the thing that they've been trying to get to this whole time. So like the fact that Nerdrotic's channel isn't doing so well and stuff like that, all that yeah, I'm sure that maybe they have to tighten their belt, but they're going to tighten. They're thinking they're tightening their belt in a world that is made for them, and they're probably pretty comfortable with that. Because where they're at right now is what they've been pushing for. In the short term, in the immediate, you know, personal interest level of things, these grifters have been wanting money, but that's not all they've been doing, because you can grift in all kinds of ways, but they've been grifting specifically to the far right because they wanted to make the country a far right country. They wanted to get rid of liberal institutions and liberal ideas and you know, woke, whatever, you know, and this is them along with Trump, the administration, Stephen Miller, JD Vance. They're all making a very clear, coordinated push. And I don't know how it happened so quickly. I don't know if they were waiting for something like Charlie Kirk to happen, but it seemed to just like they pressed a button and went into this fucking mode where they're like, all right, this is it. We're now going to do the thing. Because, you know, Trump, for example, he knows that if he ever gets kicked out, if he's ever leaves the White House, he's probably going to face some kind of charges for shit that he's done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or some kind of accountability.
34 counts.
So he's not going to let that happen. And then generally, the right they know that if they lose power, that's why they're doing such unpopular shit. That's the only saving grace here, is that most of the shit they're doing is very, very unpopular. But they're doing it anyway because they don't fucking care about the will of the people anymore. And they're gaslighting us because they don't fucking care about reality. It's the narrative. It's all narrative. Sorry, go ahead.
The one thing I would push back on is I don't think this is quick. I think this is always the plan. This is what they always do, and this is what they've been doing maybe for the past 50, 60 years, is they push you, and then they say, hey, I'm only pushing you because you were getting a bit too close. And then they take a step forward and they push you again, and they say, I was only pushing you because you were a bit close. So this rhetoric this rhetoric they're putting out now, this is them testing the waters to see if they can get away with it, to see if there's a pushback. If there's no pushback, they'll push again, and they'll keep pushing.
So I think I get what you're saying. You're not entirely wrong, but I think that, you know, this is. So here's a editorial by Laura Jadid titled "A Vast Domestic Terror Movement." The administration is gearing up for a large-scale crackdown of left-wing dissent. They're openly proclaiming their intent to label enemies domestic terrorists and to prosecute them accordingly. The threat of wide-scale repression is no longer abstract. It is imminent. It is a matter of days or weeks. In some ways, it has already begun. I do not have to spend hours researching and analyzing and putting sources together to show you this is true. I simply show you the raw quotes from 3 media events that the Trump administration participated in yesterday. J.D. Vance took over as host for Charlie Kirk's show, which is fucking just weird and dystopian and gross.
Whoa! I actually didn't know that. That's fucking weird.
He hosted it from his White House office. The Charlie Kirk show is fucking bizarre. He did that. Trump answered questions in the Oval Office after sending the National Guard to Memphis. And Pam Bondi made an hour-long appearance on Katie Miller's new podcast. Quotes from all 3 of these appearances are circulating around the internet, and any single one could be mistaken for yet another out-of-pocket threat that will be forgotten by tomorrow. Taken together, however, the message appears both clear and coordinated. They're saying the same thing using similar words in response to similar questions. To say that message is grim would be an understatement. We are in a new kind of danger, and once that danger arrives, it is likely to move fast. So first, Vance did Charlie Kirk's podcast. He said, in a move people are calling very normal and definitely not fascist propaganda, J.D. Vance hosted the Charlie Kirk show. Here's some quotes. We have to talk about this incredibly destructive movement of left-wing extremism that has grown up over the last few years. What is he talking about? That doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist. And I believe it's part of the reason why Charlie was killed by an assassin's bullet. We're going to talk about how to dismantle that and how to bring real unity.
That's not chilling at all.
Then he says, you have the crazies on the far left who are saying, oh, Stephen Miller and J.D. Vance, they're going to go after constitutionally protected speech. No. We're going to go after the NGO network that foments, facilitates, and engages in violence. That's not okay. Violence is not okay. So, that doesn't happen. So who are they going after? They're just going to go after the, people that raise money for progressive causes, essentially. They're going to say that they do violence. They're going to try and pin it on shit on them. Violence is not okay in our system, and we want to make it less likely that can happen. Then Miller goes on to say, we're going to channel all the anger we have over the organized campaign that led to this assassination to uproot and dismantle these terrorist networks. What fucking terrorist networks? It has nothing to do with what happened to Charlie Kirk. The organized doxing campaigns, you mean what they've been doing to anybody that is so fucking insane, dude. The organized riots, the organized chaos. No, organized street violence, organized campaigns of dehumanization, vilification, posting people's addresses. You already said doxing, dipshit. Combining that with messaging that's designed to trigger, incite violence, and the actual organized cells that carry out and facilitate the violence. It's a vast domestic terror movement. And with God as my witness, we are going to use every resource we have at the Department of Justice, Homeland Security, and throughout this government to identify, disrupt, dismantle, and destroy these networks. That's not good. Vance then says, I've heard many calls in the last few days for unity and healing in the wake of Charlie's assassination. You have no idea how desperately I want that. How gratified I was when Democratic friends and even former Senate colleagues reached out to offer their condolences to me. But unity, real unity, can be found only after climbing the mountain of truth. And there are difficult truths we must confront in our country. One truth is that 24% of self-described very liberals believe it is acceptable to be happy about the death of a political opponent, while only 3% of self-described very conservatives agree.
It's a lie, by the way, that statistic.
What?
Yeah, surprisingly, that statistic's a lie. It's about even on both sides. In fact, I think conservatives are 30%, so conservatives are higher. So that's a lie. From
so just
one
to
of
go
their
over
bullshit
the
statistics.
stats on this shit. So murders and politically motivated terrorism, excluding 9/11, foreign nationalism. Let's see. This is all ideologies. Okay, yeah. 8 Islamism, 143. Share of deaths, 23%. The right, 63% of the deaths, 391 total. Murders and politically motivated terrorism since 2020. All ideologies. Let's see. We got right 54%, and then everything else makes up the rest. It is overwhelming. And then, by the way, they are deleting these data sets from White House websites currently. They might have already deleted them all by now.
Yeah, apparently the party that's for truth is all about deleting facts. Because let's face it, when they say truth, they're talking about feelings. They're talking about feelings over facts, which
and
they've been dealing with this whole fucking time.
As she points out here, these numbers probably look a little bit higher than what you're used to, because Cato has put their thumb on the scale to inflate the left-wing number. This is with left-wing numbers inflated. So from the report, some marginal cases like that of Aiden Audrey Hale are included, even though the local police disagree. In that case, Hale was counted as being motivated by a left-wing ideology. So, you know, some kind of like maybe iffy lefty kind of situations. They added them, they included them, and it's still dwarfed by the fucking rights bullshit. And then finally, let's see what Trump said. Given all that's going on with, so this is a reporter asked him, given all that's going on with Charlie Kirk's assassination, do you plan on designating Antifa a domestic terror? Why? What did they, I mean.
Antifa is barely an organization. Like the fuck?
I mean, it's
like
not,
you make such a big deal about it, but it's like nothing. And like,
it's something I would like to do, yes. If I have support from people back here, I think it would start with Pam. But I would do that 100%. And others also, by the way. But Antifa is terrible. There are other groups. We have some pretty radical groups, and they got away with murder. What?
Also,
yeah. Citation needed.
A lot of the people he pardoned on January 6th.
True.
Dude, it's so fucking insane. He says, been speaking to Bondi about bringing RICO against some of the people that you've been reading about that have been putting up millions and millions of dollars for agitation. Who? Oh, that's right, George Soros.
Well, not to sidetrack from this, but anytime they try to do these kinds of things, it bites them in the ass, because apparently going after I don't remember if it was a month ago or whenever it was at least a couple weeks back. They set up the committee to try and go after to find any sort of government corruption on people that were using houses as residence in places where they weren't while they were campaigning or while they're in office and things like that. They're finding out a bunch of Republicans did it too. So now they're not talking about it anymore. So the problem is when they do these kinds of programs and these committees that are supposed to go after these things, and they find out that the corruption exists on their side, all of a sudden they don't talk about it anymore.
It does have a, now that you mention it, yeah. Except it's kind of worse because McCarthy didn't have the the ability to fucking put the full weight of the military onto somebody that he just designated communist or whatever.
Yeah, McCarthy was a senator. He wasn't president.
Also want to point out. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Dane.
I was just going to say, when you lack Morales, you lack revision. Well, fair.
Yeah. Who's Morales? All right.
Spider-Man.
So Columbia, exactly. I mean, that all works, right? Columbia, Rica, New York, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. The authoritarian expert that escaped to Canada earlier this year, I believe it was like March of 2025. I think he works in Toronto now. Has stated the other day that the right is on the phase 2 of the fascist playbook. Yeah, because but the truth is, a lot of phase 1 didn't work the way they wanted it to. So they're now scrambling to kind of shift ahead without all of the pieces working. They're finding out that it's a lot harder for them to do it than they thought, because there is resistance within the government.
Yeah, you're right. When you think about it, the deployments to into DC and to even to LA and stuff like that, that was partially, if not wholly, in a lot of ways, designed to create a situation where some protester would do something that then they could justify more, and it's like it didn't happen. It just didn't really happen to where they could.
They did cleaning up the streets and like helping people through the park and things like that. There was nothing going on.
So that actually makes sense now, and why they were so quick with this, because they were ready to press that button months ago.
Yeah,
and then suddenly Charlie Kirk gets killed, and they're like, press the button.
I think we all recognize that they were hoping that by deploying the military, it would escalate violence, and it didn't. To be fair, the so-called radical left did not do what they wanted them to do.
By the way, there was a lot of people in organizations on the left in the cities that did have National Guard or some sort of like government presence in it, that were actively telling their communities, do not cause a ruckus, not because we don't want you to push back, but that's what they want you to do. And if you don't do that, they're going to have nothing to do. And that's essentially what happened. They didn't have anything to do. So
If I could offer a glimmer of hope, is that one of the fundamentals for a sort of fascist uprising like this is economic instability. Now, okay, there is a period of economic instability in the US now,
Yeah.
but it is entirely at the feet of Trump.
and
Because he's been
it's
saying,
primarily in places that voted for Trump too. That's the vast majority of them.
Historically, fascists will also make things better economically, and that is a big part of what gets people behind them. Whenever
Trump's failing at that because
He
he's
is.
a fucking dumbass. Because
There's
Yeah.
if anybody hasn't seen it, on Jon Stewart's weekly show podcast, he interviewed Tony Gilroy and an expert on sort of various different types of revolutions and throughout history. And the guy who wrote the book about revolutions said that it could happen. You don't know. Revolutions either miss their target and nothing happens, or they happen when you least expect it. But it's very difficult to sort of plan for one, like they're trying to do in this sort of right-wing revolution. So it's very difficult for them to orchestrate it because all the pieces are not don't necessarily fall into place how you want them.
This is absolutely delusional. Like this, I mean, I don't know if maybe I don't know what position you're coming from here, but like if it's as crazy as the people that hoard guns because they think they're going to fight the government if it comes down to it. Like, no, you're going to go out in a very quick blaze of fucking blood and guts.
Yeah.
If that's what the government chooses to do. That's insane. And it's, yeah.
I also want to point out that we were talking about the people that are affected by Trump's policies. One of the big ones I'm seeing this week, and I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but the farmers are expecting another bailout like they got back in 2016 from Trump, because essentially China is not buying anything from them. All the soybeans that they used to ship out, I think they had, I was looking at the numbers here. Where's it at here? 54% of soybean production in the U.S. got exported to China. 54%. That's over half of it. You know how much China has bought this year? About 0%.
Whoa.
Almost nothing. And you know why? Because a country that we play, yes, but not just that. A country we placed tariffs on, 50% tariff with an additional 10% reciprocal tariff on, which was Brazil, is now shipping their soybeans to China. China has now found them as a partner. They are filling China's quota at a lower rate than what the U.S. has because of the tariff situation. And China has no reason to get soybeans from the U.S. anymore. And Brazil also has no reason to trade.
Well, that doesn't make any sense because I thought Trump was like a business genius.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why we say it's a global economy and you can't do everything within this country. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know why people keep saying that.
I want to issue a quick correction. You brought up the Trump farmer bailout in 2016. It's 2017.
Okay.
Obama was president in 2016.
Right.
That threw me off. I was like, wait, that's not right.
I was thinking in my head, like, I remember it was in the mid 20s somethings, but
yes,
he had to do the bailout because he tried this tariff thing before and the same fucking thing happened. It was just on a different scale.
Well, I mean, you're wondering why we have massive inflation going on and it's still going up. It's because of all these fucking tariffs that he keeps on laying out, and consumers are paying the price like everybody said would fucking happen.
And he will quietly bail out the farmers. Quietly, we will not hear them talking about it. He will quietly do it sort of like he did last time, because if you ask a Trump supporter about him bailing out farmers, most of them don't even know it. They don't even know what happened. He will quietly do it. They'll not talk about it at all. So all of this will go away. Because the reality is they have a lot of money now that they've cut all these programs, and they will just find a way to allocate it to the farming industry. But the reality is that we have crops that are dying. These farmers have crops that are just dying in the fields because we were supposed to be exporting them to other countries. So I don't know why they're like, oh, we want to bring jobs back to the USA. You're killing the USA jobs, which is shipping out things like soybeans to countries like China that buy over 50% of our yearly amount that we make. We're sending them 54% of what we make every year. It made no sense to come build iPhones in factories.
Yeah. I want to point out that I don't know if you guys remember this segment here that we did where I show this crude graphic that I made. I'd like to show that graphic again. But maybe not. So this was pre-2024 election. This is like 2022, maybe.
Yeah, this was a while ago.
You know, this is kind of just like a quick rough sketch of how I feel like the realities diverged, but from you know, a generally shared point of view. Even if different politics, the standing position was essentially more or less the same. And then some events took place to kind of branch off and you know, literally split down political ideological lines.
This branching point is where Kirk saves Edith Keeler, and then we all go to hell. And then we
right, yeah. I'm glad you got a chance to bring that up. I forgot. So I think that this is what they want to make happen right now. That's what this is a push for, is to destroy the other track, and just now we're on their track forever. That's what they want to have. So I was right.
Yeah.
God damn it, Dane! Why were you right? You suck. You suck.
From my understanding, this is something that they've been working towards ever since Nixon resigned, because they made a pledge at that point that this would never happen again to another conservative president.
Yeah, I actually have the clip of Jon Stewart. Matter of fact, he's one that inspired me to do this.
Now, and this was what he said that stuck in my mind.
Such an outsized figure. Yeah. But the groundwork for Trump has really been laid in our country for the past 40 or 50 years. Yeah. And it is that the right wing very explicitly decided, and this is in the 70s and 80s after Nixon was taken down, and Roger Ailes, who ran Fox News for a long time, was Nixon's advisor. They explicitly stated, we need to control the narrative so that what happened to Nixon could never happen again to another Republican. And they built parallel structures of authority in news, in institutions like universities, in think tanks, almost to...
That's an old advertisement, guys. It's old promo.
To shift to this other track, the facade that they could build on the side.
I also want to point out,
so I'm kind of obsessed with this right now. I'm just gonna.
Your chin hair's gotten grayer, man.
It's almost like I'm older. Isn't that weird?
Wow, it's crazy.
Where's DJ?
I'm still 22, so I don't get it. I'm a youngin', I swear.
And yeah, you can see the first instance of this in the Carter administration, where Reagan was doing closed door deals with Iran in order to make Carter's presidency look worse by scuppering the hostage negotiations. This is all been reported on. So that was really the first step, where they said, let's get rid of Carter. And to be honest, if you think about it, Reagan, Bush, and then that was such a disaster, which is what always happens whenever a Republican's in charge. They screw up the economy so much. Clinton came in with his very liberal neocon, basically, policies, righted the ship, and then
neocon plus abortion.
Yeah. And then and it's all on the same path. They didn't see Clinton as much as a big threat. I think they saw Obama as a threat initially, more so, because just purely, I think, because he was black. And hey, we can't have a black president. We might have another black president.
I think also with Obama, there was the fact that he was so good at speeches and so good at getting people to listen and rally behind him. I think that was also why they feared him.
Yeah, I think you're right about Obama, and I think that they realized that he was not going to be as much of a force for change as he probably intended to be once he got in and realized the just the inherent obstacles of being executive, trying to make, but also just the Republican Party in an unprecedented way decided we're going to just fucking say no to everything.
Mitch McConnell explicitly said we're going to make sure that he's a lame duck president for his entire presidency. We're going to put push against everything he wants to do, which is not how you run a country.
Mikey mentions so Rupert Murdoch no longer is in charge of News Corp. His son is, and I just learned this not long ago that actually we wish that Rupert Murdoch was still in charge. We should wish that, because apparently he doesn't like Trump very much at all. While Fox would generally do content that was favorable to him because he happened to be the Republican, it was kind of begrudgingly. And that once after 2020 and after he kind of took his hands off the wheel and his son kind of stepped in, that's when Fox News doesn't do news anymore. Basically, they did used to do news. It maybe had a rightward slant, but it was like they had several hours throughout the day where they would just cover news stories, on a pretty factual basis even. He very intentionally did not want it to become more editorializing than news. And now it is definitely more editorializing than news. The editorial, the stars, the talking head stars have kind of taken over, and they each have their own little fiefdom in Fox News building where they run shit.
Jay Kung here, I will say that I think a lot of the Democratic people we had in power probably could have taken more swings. But I think a lot of them also believe we were playing a different game. At the end. I don't know. I mean, this last election, they talked about how things were so awful and bad, and then everybody that was fighting just disappeared once the votes were counted, and that was it. It's like, you said that this was the end of the world for us, and then as soon as the votes are counted, you stop fighting. It was really like, what? It was almost like
dude,
made my head spin a little bit.
Listen, I get why Kamala Harris seceded, but I was shocked she did it so quickly. It's like, why not just make sure all the votes are counted? I think there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, let's make sure all the votes are counted, make sure this is fair and honest, and then I'll secede. I think that's reasonable. But she jumped at seceding. I
don't think secede is the right word.
So I was just checking. I mean, there was a lot of discrepancies in some of the voting that happened.
Yeah.
She didn't challenge any of them.
No.
Yeah.
None of them. And I think it was one of those things where I don't want to necessarily look like how Trump looked when he challenged voting.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to challenge any of them. But I think that was a mistake because there are several places where they say that clearly something happened, but nobody's going to look into it. Nobody's going to challenge it.
Yeah, I'm not saying she won't.
Musk
made a couple of comments to Trump that kind of, hinted that maybe they did something happened.
That's what I'm saying. And no investigations, no nothing. You want to make the path easy for him? Fuck him. That's the way I feel. If he already won, what's the harm? He ran on this election was stolen thing for years. So if you challenge it one time, becomes an issue, then we have a bigger problem.
Right. Super sus. Right. And then whenever they had their big breakup a while back, when he actually said something about it, then he was like, I helped, I made him win, basically. Yeah, I mean, and look, now we're not gonna start doing JQ shit around here if that's what you're fucking insinuating. Because that's not even how, as Bob explains here, other Bob, that's not how the relationship works between Israel and, I mean, it's a bad relationship. It fucking sucks. We're contributing to genocide for sure. But that's not just like they called the shots. It's that they, buy a lot of shit from us. So
to be honest, as far as I can see, if Israel either never existed or had been entirely peaceful for the past 80 years, America would still be in the same situation it is now, because their goal is they don't care about Israel. The right don't care. No. It's another political pawn for them.
Mm-hmm. They literally, Israel is basically a nation of Eric July, Candace Owens, Dave Rubin. They're the pick-me nation right now because they're useful to the Republicans until they're not useful anymore. Whenever, which basically Republicans, they believe that if you're getting into the evangelical bullshit, then yeah, that's a whole thing with end times and it's so stupid.
Hey, let me just shorten it up. Fuck Benjamin Netanyahu.
Yeah. Except don't, because he doesn't deserve to get laid.
Oh yeah, no, don't.
By the way,
no.
Look, let's
don't
get into it.
actually
Let's just address this. Let's address this fact that it is a fact that Netanyahu very, very quickly after Charlie Kirk was killed, said, "We didn't do this." Like he essentially tweeted saying, "This wasn't us. Well, hey, it wasn't us." And then there's the fact that, and I have looked into this. These are facts that Charlie Kirk has historically TPUSA has been very friendly with Netanyahu. They've been buddies, but then more recently, I guess there's been some light criticism from Charlie Kirk about the whole. I don't know specifically what he said, but so that makes people conspiracy post about whether it was the Mossad had him killed or something. Is like clearly that's not what it was. To me, it's clear. But anyway, it's you know what? I forgot I wanted to show this.
Coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously.
When Charlie Kirk was assassinated, many pastors across the nation rushed not just to grieve, but to glorify, painting him as a martyr of free speech and simply having a difference of opinion without naming the harm that he did. And when they spoke, they did not speak from the lens of the wounded, the people who were attacked by his words, his work, and the policies he advocated for. But they did so from the seat of power. Some out of ignorance, simply not knowing what Charlie Kirk actually stood for.
Black America really needs to get its act together and stop sleeping around all the time, and it needs to actually have enough.
Why would you?
Because it's true. What percentage of young blacks have both a mom and a dad raising them? Of course we pander to blacks. They're in every TV commercial.
But other pastors did so from complicity, in agreement with the very policies, politics, and prayers that put so many people in peril.
I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have.
Oh, yeah. You ever notice that the same people who say blacks, they don't say whites. They say white people.
So listen, I think we all know why this quote is relevant, but I also want to bring up the context of this quote because he was very explicitly, if you watch the whole thing, he was very explicitly talking about school shootings. So when he says the cost of some gun deaths every year is worth it not to do any more new regulation, which by the way, I did a video about that 6 fucking years ago and we still haven't done shit. But when he's talking about that, the deaths he's talking about are kids.
Well, not only is that, but he's saying it while the bodies are still warm from a shooting that day.
Yeah.
That's the context of that question. There was a school shooting today. There were kids being taken to the hospital still, essentially. I don't remember which one it was. There's too many of them. Yeah. So, and we looked at yesterday on stream some of the examples of of people celebrating, right? Because they keep saying that. And yeah, I've seen there's been a couple of instances of somebody that I would say, yeah, that's generally celebration, I guess, or at least being really, really overtly happy that he got shot. I've seen that a couple of times, not a lot, not to the degree that they were acting like, but so I was really curious what were they referring to something that I don't know. And I found looked at yesterday a post on Twitter where somebody had collected and literally called it celebrating his death. And there's a bunch of tweets that were just like people kind of being apathetic to the fact that he'd been shot and killed, not celebrating, just kind of saying, oh, well, he did kind of advocate some stuff that would piss people off and, stuff like that. Not, and that's what they're talking about when they're talking about celebrating, is just not being mournful, praiseworthy. And there's the whole side of it of like, why are they getting so upset about it, right? The way that they are, because in my opinion, I don't think they have the emotional capacity to process that it happened. So like they can't process their own grief. So they're just gonna fucking do what they know how to do, which is point fingers at other people and be angry. Because that's the only emotional process they know how to do. So
the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal.
This is not a rebuttal to their grief, but it is a refusal to allow flattering eulogies to become erasure and to enshrine a mindset and a belief system that is directly detrimental to millions of people across this country. Because the truth is this: just because someone cries, "Lord, Lord," does not mean they are doing the work of the Lord.
Gratitude, because you're right. You are not in Africa, and you should be thankful you're not in Africa.
Certain skin color now gets their own summertime celebration. It's now become a racial complaining day. BLM, and remember what BLM stands for: burn, loot, and murder.
It brings me no joy to say what nonetheless must be said about the life, the words, the work, and the legacy of Charlie Kirk. I am so sorry, Charlie Kirk, for what happened to you.
So this is Benjamin Dixon. He is a Christian pastor and
okay.
lefty broadcaster, content creator. Great channel. I suggest subscribe and follow him. Right. Yeah, they blame us. Literally every accusation is a confession. It's insane. So yeah, you can go watch the rest of that video if you want to hear more of that guy saying the stuff that he said. But I want to point out that these are not positions that he necessarily. I'm sure he to some degree believed this stuff, but at the same time, the specific way that he talked about things is because he was paid very well to do so.
Yeah. I mean, I say to my video, he is a grifter. He might have right-wing views that he kind of based it on, but then he got some dark money, and then it was just like, well, let's just let the money flow and say whatever the fuck, and that's what he did.
From what I can tell, he was a true believer, conservative Tea Party kid. Whenever he was 18 years old when he founded TPUSA, and from all accounts, he essentially did believe in that movement, which is also a bullshit movement, and they didn't actually stand for what they claimed they stood for. And that kind of folded, and then out of the collapse of the Tea Party is what MAGA came out of. But because when that collapsed, essentially, I don't know if they're billionaires, probably. I'm not sure exactly who funds TPUSA. I'm sure we can find some of it. But then they swooped in and they said, "Hey, you got a good thing here." They recognized that he was a charismatic guy that could, kind of keep a crowd, and he had built a little organization, and he was a motivated guy. So yeah, let's fund this kid. Let's fucking put all of our, just show him more money than he can even fucking understand. And just, make sure that he's saying the things that benefit us and not the working class, which would be, things that help the working class come together.
And Neon's has it. I was just going to say Neon's 100% correct. It doesn't matter what he actually believed, because this is what he propagated.
I've literally been working on a song that's about that. It's that your intentions kind of don't matter. What your beliefs don't matter. So like nothing pisses me off more than somebody that's like, I didn't mean to do that or whatever. And it's like, yeah, but you didn't think about consequences of doing it, did you? The Koch brothers fund all kinds of shit. Well, there's only one left, I think.
Yeah. The Koch.
The Koch brother.
Yeah. I think that's a more accurate name, the Koch brother.
Tom McDonald.
But the fact of the matter is, none of the people, quote unquote, celebrating his death you will have heard of before.
No,
not one
it's people with like 2 followers. It's people.
Yeah,
yet when violence happens against somebody on the left, you do know the people that are celebrating that, because it's people like Donald Trump's son.
Yep, 100%. 100%. Or they make excuses for incidents where police end up killing somebody that was not supposed to be killed.
Buddy, I have no patience for the lies that are being told about this Breonna Taylor incident in Louisville. There now are anarchists, BLM Incorporated, and Democrats that are marching in the streets trying to advocate for justice for Breonna Taylor. Senator Harris, who will never become Vice President of the United States, says her family deserves justice.
Oof. Oof. Senator Harris will never become vice president, and I'll never be shot. Sorry.
Let's actually go over the facts of the case. So, as background, there is an individual that was by the name of Jamarcus Glover. This was Breonna Taylor's.
Essentially, this is all just like very fucking not even dog whistly. Just talk about how essentially, she shouldn't have dated a guy that was maybe a criminal because that's why she's dead. Deal with it. Just completely writing off this woman's life because there was a no-knock warrant, and then what happened once because a no-knock warrant is the dumbest fucking idea. Like, Jesus Christ, that's stupid. But yeah, and not sure what happened once they got in there, but shots were fired. She got hit, and like, he's basically just trying to make that seem okay. Like, that's a cool thing.
Well, it's a fucked up situation because they make a big deal that like shots were fired. It's like, yeah, from their perspective, somebody's breaking into their place. Like, I know plenty of right wingers where that's like their first recourse. Yeah, the whole situation was very frustrating.
Yeah, it's like if somebody,
frankly,
if they can do a no-knock warrant and all they have to do is just announce themselves as police, like anybody can fucking do that.
Mm-hmm.
That you should expect that there's going to be some resistance to that because anybody can just say they're police and come in and yeah, I don't know. It's fucking really bad, stupid idea.
So if you're saying she deserved it because she dated somebody who was a criminal, then doesn't that mean half the right-wing politicians would be single at this point? People like Nerdrotic should be single.
True.
Because he was a criminal.
Yeah.
So would it be his fault if something happened to his family? Would it be Donald Trump's fault if something happened to Melania? He's a criminal.
That's one of the most frustrating things about him in particular is that he applies no empathy that he almost certainly would have benefited from or wanted back when he was doing his illegal poisoning of people's minds.
If he'd lived in another state when he committed his crimes, there's a chance he still wouldn't be able to vote today.
What state was he in?
He was in California, wasn't he?
I guess so. Yeah.
So I think the criminal law there is if you can't vote from prison, but once you're released, you can. But I know that in some states, having a criminal record disbars you from voting. Although I don't know what states they are, but that's the world he lives in. So
yeah, he is now in Texas because he's posting about the San Antonio Charlie Kirk rally that he went to and how many people were there. He's very happy about that. Yeah, Big Fieldy. Yes, he is. Tell him about it, Eric.
Sell your merch, sir.
Yeah. I actually was doing all the setup there, like setting it all up. If you're on my channel, there's a merch shop link in the top of it's pinned to the top of the chat, but I'll share it here too for anybody that wants to go there. Right now there's a shirt and a hat available in different colors that say I'm bored. There's a lot more merch coming. I have a bunch of designs made and it's shipping from Fourth Wall, which is a very quick company. I tested it out myself. It's the number one company that YouTubers use now to ship out merch. So you can get different colors too. So there's a hat and a shirt available. Check the shop again at the end of the month. There'll be new drops for the fall, hoodies and stuff like that. And it helps support the channel. And you'll get to wear the merch out there. I think it's cool to let people know you're bored. Why not?
Yeah. I'm bored.
But what happens if you're wearing that shirt and something exciting happens?
I know. I don't know what happens then, but this catchphrase caught on so quickly. I see it in my comments now everywhere. So it's like, why is he bored? My favorite one is when why is he bored? But then he spends the whole video talking about something, and I'm like, that's the joke. Linkara, I don't think so. I have it connected through my Google account. I don't know if there's anything to do with Linkara. So yeah.
Yeah, people not getting the premise of your video is that you're bored, so you decide to watch one of these very entertaining right-wing YouTubers in the hope that you will be unbored.
Right, and then that never happens. I just get
No,
more
because
angry.
they're
It's
all
just
really boring and
the
wrong.
definition of insanity.
One of these days. Anyway, I think all three of you should be thanking me at the moment, to be honest.
For what?
Taking Trump off your hand for a couple of days.
Oh.
Well, look, we're still
Not
going to
much,
ask about him because he's going to talk to somebody over there, and it's going to be really stupid, and they're going to look at him funny, and it's going to be like The Office, where they're like,
Yeah, well, I wonder about that. I wonder if they've, because traditionally you don't get an official state visit more than once as a president,
Right.
and this is his second. So I'm wondering if the reason for that is it's far more controlled, so he can't wander about on his own and get himself into mischief with our despicable scumbag politicians.
What's the stated reason? Is it just economic shit?
He wanted a state visit, and we export stuff to you, I guess. So I think it's about the tariffs again, because we still haven't actually agreed any sort of deal on that, despite what the right wing will tell you.
Congrats to this guy for that. Look at that.
Yeah, 100%.
Someone told me, I didn't notice this, but Birdman mentioned me in his video this past
Yes,
week.
he did. Yeah.
Yes.
It's only a short video.
Yeah.
And it's dealing with one specific guy who
harassed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was like that. I think he said that myself, Eric Debunks, and Anthony Gramuglia have to deal with like on every video or something. I was like, oh, shout out. Okay. It's pretty cool.
Yep, you're getting named with the big leaguers. It's notable that I guess because I'm not putting out content that really goes right at them as much anymore. My shit's kind of lazy lately, but yeah. I don't get mentioned. That's all right. That's all right.
I know that Bob gets mentioned a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Well, he
a lot of
uses
people's
clips
videos.
from he uses the clips from the freaking debate a lot, which I get.
That thing just it's the gift that keeps on giving. I swear.
The last fandom debate.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, it might be.
I mean, I can't get a debate with any of them now.
I'll be honest. I knew there was a fandom for like kaiju stuff. I didn't realize there was specifically like this massive toxic Godzilla fandom. I didn't realize that existed.
Well, I mean, if there's
how toxic,
there's going to be a toxic
mean,
element to every fandom, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's a toxic element to the Genesis fandom. Like it exists in everything. It gets weird. Yeah,
I don't know how big the
know?
toxic element is.
Didn't you know Genesis sucks after Pierre Gabriel left? Didn't you know that? It's like
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Well, I mean, yeah, everybody knows that.
As far as I can tell from the stuff I've seen, he is the toxic element. Everybody in that community hates him. So.
Yeah. But no, I was kind of shocked to hear him mention my name because, like I said, we don't really interact in that way. So when he name dropped me, I was like, what? Because I watched his videos and I was like, I clicked on it and I heard my name. It's like, wait, let me run that back. Was that me? It was me. Mentioned me. Okay.
Well, you're probably in his algorithm because I know you've covered a couple of the same videos, so I'm sure that.
Oh, you covered him, so that probably he probably saw that.
Oh, yeah,
Hey,
that's true as well. Yeah.
You guys know that our president is multi-talented? He's
really?
He's an artist. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. He's an artist.
Brilliant artist.
And as you can clearly see, he drew a woman. No, it's not a woman. I think it's maybe a girl that he drew.
Yeah, it's like a woman. But
yeah, but not like not.
What
quite
is
like
a woman? What?
Not that.
Not that.
Look, because that's another thing about all this stuff is everybody needs to remember to mention Epstein. You know what? Everybody mention Epstein once a day on social media. Just do your part. Because for one thing, that's what Charlie Kirk would want. For another thing, that's what Trump doesn't want. So,
I mean, I think it is worth wondering, where's the list? Why hasn't it been released? I mean, Trump said he would, didn't he?
Did you see that fucking exchange with Kash Patel and Adam Schiff? Holy shit.
Yeah, that was something else.
That's wild, man. I think I downloaded it. I mean, this is the fucking head of the FBI, and he just looks like a little child or something.
He always looks like that, though. He always looks as if he's been caught doing something that he shouldn't be.
Yeah.
While you're doing that up, whoever got the super chat here, thank you. The Fandom has to do new stuff with Toho Godzilla. I love 90s Godzilla. I enjoy the most Godzilla versus Space Godzilla as a classic. Yay, cool. I will say I need to watch more Godzilla. I love the original, and Godzilla -1 was, of course, fantastic.
Yeah, it was. I finally saw that not long ago, or I guess a few months ago.
Yeah, I think it's like my daughter's favorite movie from that year. I got her the Blu-ray of it, and she watched it semi-regularly. We did actually watch the dub version once, and they do a good job dubbing it, but we did it for my son because we were like, yo, you might enjoy this movie, but he doesn't like subtitles.
I do like the fact that the American version of the original as well is just the same film, but every now and again, Perry Mason turns up.
Yeah, no, they do. They actually, like, if we're talking about the original, they do a really good job cutting in Raymond Burr into it. It works pretty effectively.
But yeah, if Dane's having trouble finding it, the weirdest part for me was that for some reason he was wearing a Liverpool FC tie, which is
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, which is obviously not something I would expect Americans to know, but it's weird just to see the right-wing head of the FBI wearing a Liverpool FC tie. Liverpool, a famously left-wing club. After the horrific incidents of Hillsborough in the 80s, and the way that Rupert Murdoch's The Sun newspaper covered that, nobody sells the newspaper in Liverpool. You cannot buy that newspaper. They've completely boycotted it. So it was just weird.
Now you got me looking up his tie.
Well, I think he's there for more than one day as well, because he's wearing a different tie in the clips I've seen today. But yeah, there's one point where he says he's asked if he knows any of the people who Epstein trafficked children for, and he says no. And then he's asked, well, did you read the Epstein file? And he's like, no, I skipped it.
Right after she gives this testimony, in front of an FBI agent, among others, she's transferred to a minimum security prison not suitable for a sex offender like herself. Who made that decision and why?
The Bureau of Prisons.
The Bureau of Decisions made it in
prisons.
The Bureau of Prisons decided on their own, without any consultation with Blanche or anyone else, that they were going to suddenly, after this interview, completely unrelated to this interview, completely unrelated to anything she said, move her to a prison not suitable for a sex offender. You want the American people to believe that? Do you think they're stupid?
No, I think the American
I mean, I want them to believe that that this kid had some kind of trans girlfriend or whatever. So yeah, I'm really trying to make them believe a lot of bullshit.
people believe the truth, that I'm not in the weeds on the everyday movements of
you're not in
inmates.
the weeds.
What I am doing is protecting this country, providing historic reform, and combating the weaponization of intelligence by the likes of you. And we have countlessly proven you to.
The weaponization of intelligence. If it's
They
intelligence,
just have to go back to the talking points. Literally unable to answer the question and reverting to the talking points.
Be a liar in Russiagate, in January 6th. You are the biggest fraud to ever sit.
Now look, this is the 21st century. Fascism will allow a few pick-me's as long as they toe the line. Okay, it's not that they hate all people of color. It's that they just don't want the poor ones to have any power. And if you're not a poor one and you will agree with everything they say, then you're cool in their book.
The United States Senate, you are a disgrace to this institution and an utter coward.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised that you continue to lie from your perch and put on a show so you can go raise money for your charade. You are a political buffoon at best.
Well, you can take an internet troll.
Take it to the bank that the FBI is protecting this country and the state and citizens of the California.
Well, yeah, I mean, I knew that's what he meant. I still think it's kind of a weird thing to accuse. I don't think they hate him because like there was I happened upon a CNN article from 2021 the other day that if you remember back then when Mike Pillow visited the White House, Trump was in there the first time, and Mike Pillow went and visited, and some journalist got a picture of his notes while he was there, and the notes had like all kinds of suggestions he was going to make to Trump, and one of which was to get rid of the CIA director and put Kash Patel in there. So it's like Kash Patel is their guy for whatever reason. It's like, yeah, put him in there. So I don't know if he just like gives really good head or something. I don't know what his deal is, but
yeah,
Well,
we are bringing historic reform.
Point of order.
But all you care about is a child sex predator that was prosecuted by a prior administration, and the Obama Justice Department and the Biden Justice Department did squat. And what?
I am so tired of this administration continuously talking about what previous administrations did. Like, I don't care about that. I care about what you are doing right now. That's all I care about. And I wish more of these guys that are questioning would say, I don't want to hear about what the other administration did. Tell me what you're doing right now in this moment to tackle this issue, because that's why your boss was elected and the position you're in was appointed to you.
The Obama administration didn't know anything because he hadn't been convicted of any federal crimes at that point. So there was literally nothing they could do for a start. Secondly, the Biden administration didn't know anything because he was dead.
Yeah.
So Epstein was dead. So what could they do? What the Trump administration have done, brave soldiers that they are, is they've moved her to a minimum security prison that is not suitable for sex offenders. So that's what they've done. That's what they've actually done. That's what the Trump administration has done. So all this bullshit that they try to rewrite history to say that Obama should have done something.
But but the thing about it is some people would agree with that. I would agree that the previous administrations, like Democratic or Republican, didn't do enough on some of these issues. But the reason why they are there now is to course correct and not do the same thing that the previous administration did, which is why it's so stupid to continuously go back and go, well, this is what they did. I don't care. I want you to do the thing you were put here to do. You're supposedly here because you're better than the previous administration. So show us that you're better than the previous administration. That's why I keep hearing this. It's not just him. It's also what the dude for the I can't remember his name now. The one that took over for transportation, Secretary of Transportation, who was a reality TV show star. What is his name? He's blanking out of my mind now. He can't do anything. He's completely incapable of doing his job. So everything is the previous administration, the previous person. It's like you've been there long enough that you should start seeing some sort of action on your side that makes sense. Okay, fair enough. Even if I can see that the previous administration did things bad, you're still not telling me why what you're doing is better. You know what I mean? Like, this is why it just makes no sense. Saying that is narrative. That's what it is. It's just narrative for them. It doesn't actually mean anything.
Okay, so I have a bit of news that is very, very breaking here. This happened earlier today. So apparently ABC has suspended Jimmy Kimmel Live for suggesting that the Charlie Kirk assassin was MAGA. I don't know the full details. I'm kind of just learning about it live on the air, but like, yeah, this is bad. Like, when
I assume all of these corporations are just corrupt at this point. They're just they're all corrupt at this point, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd say
Stephen Colbert was
corrupt, but I mean,
canceled.
I'm saying that they're at least scared for their, they're fucking cowards. You know what I mean?
They don't. You know what? What was it? Which was it? CBS or NBC? Which one was it? Was it 60 Minutes that ended up like giving in and paying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the beginning of the end of this, because if they would have gone to court over this and set some sort of standard on this, we wouldn't see all these companies turning over their bellies to these. So it's like,
which, by the way, all the lawyers in the world pretty much were saying it's an easy win for them. If they
it
take it to
is.
court. They decided to capitulate to Trump.
Yeah.
It's because it's not about the money for them. It's because the other cards that the government holds, like being in charge of the FCC. That's the threat. They could literally pull the plug on these broadcasters' rights to broadcast, and they could surely cook up a reason for it. I'm sure they could easily cook up a reason for it. I mean, that's the
And-
whole reason
and
with Colbert, isn't it?
By the way, just FYI, who owns ABC?
Well, Disney owns
Disney, the woke company that all these guys like to complain about. Well,
They're gonna definitely Nerdrotic is gonna be fucking crowing about this for sure, like because they did it with Late Show, so there's definitely gonna do it with this. They're gonna fucking love this cancel culture.
Yeah, because they're hypocrites. They want cancel culture for everybody else, not for them, and that's always been their position. And anything they've said against cancel culture is a lie. Everything they've said about cancel culture is a lie. Everything they've said about free speech is a lie.
As that post of what they're doing right now, but that post in particular that we looked at, Nerdrotic implicitly admits that he and all of these people are fascists. Fascists only care about power. They only care about using the aesthetics or the mechanisms that exist of institutions like free speech and stuff like that in order to gain power. Once they do, they will abandon that. They will use the stones to destroy the stones, so to speak. Well,
Yeah.
Avenger, we are supposed to be like a kind of nerd show, so cancel culture is real and it's here.
Yes.
I've seen a few people, more than I can probably count on one hand, that were victims of cancel culture or say they were victims of cancel culture, cheering all this on. And when I made my video and I talked about, my stance on gun violence in this country, I said that I would not be logically consistent if I changed my opinion on gun violence because I didn't like someone who was affected by gun violence. Like, that would not be logically consistent. It also is not logically consistent to say that the necessary thing that I'm against is cancel culture, but when it happens to someone else, all of a sudden it doesn't matter to me. This means they never stood for that from the beginning. And I think we just need to keep reminding everyone of this. Like, these are things that the free speech, the cancel culture stuff, this is all foundational stuff that these guys built their channels on. They can't run away from this, and I'm not going to let them run away from this. I'm going to mention it in every video where they talk about this that I react to, that they have built their foundation on absolute free speech and no cancel culture. And anytime they try to side on this now, I'm going to bring it up.
Controversy is growing after several public employees were reportedly fired over social media posts they made related to Kirk's killing. Tonight, we're learning an area firefighter was terminated while a teacher is under investigation. So what are the legal limits when it comes to free speech and employment? KENS 5 reporter Mike Jimenez spoke with legal experts to find out.
Local opponents of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, and by the way, I have 4 videos downloaded of various local news segments like this covering the exact same thing, but in their area. So it's happening everywhere. There was a guy that was working on Street Fighter or something like that in Australia. He got fired, and then one of his people above him was pissed off about that and left too because of it. There's the Red Hood comic book that got canceled the same day that the first issue came out because the writer, who is trans, who has every reason to be, apathetic to Charlie Kirk dying, said something, there's kind of.
I'd say it's distasteful, but
sure,
yeah.
Just keep in mind the Dems did not. What are the Dems supposed to do about this? What are the Dems supposed to do to? Believe me, there are plenty of ways that I believe the Democrats should be doing.
Can I tell you what I would like to see?
Yeah,
I would like to see? I would like to see some sort of organization and mobilization of the leadership in Democrats and not a lot of this platforming stuff they're doing on social media. I want to see them come together as a group, make some joint statements, come up with some sort of committee or something that sort of works in connection with each other to try and figure out a way to go up against this instead of just going on social media and trying to placate to Trump. I feel like a lot of them individually have said some good stuff, but I'd like to see a mobilization of our Democratic leadership, because otherwise we have no plan on how to deal with this as the years go through, like as we go on to the next 3 years.
And let me also say Chuck Schumer needs to fucking retire. He is not equipped for this.
What about the Baileys? Have you seen that segment? Because it's pretty frustrating. Get this fucking piece of shit off the screen. Yeah.
Just last week, just after we heard the breaking news of Charlie Kirk being shot, these motherfuckers were complaining that Graham Linehan was being cancelled.
Yeah.
Right.
Same
And
week.
yet, we're in the same week, and all of a sudden, 180, complete 180. Now they want to say, because as we correctly stated, Linehan wasn't in trouble for that. He was in trouble for threatening violence. None of these people celebrating Charlie Kirk's death are threatening violence.
I guarantee you
many
they
of
will
them aren't even
celebrate
actually
Jimmy
celebrating
Kimmel
his
being
death.
pulled.
Many of them are just saying, "Oh, that sucks. I guess he shouldn't have said stuff that would piss people off enough to shoot him or something like that." You know.
I mean, some of them are just quoting him and being fired because of it.
There's that the Post editorial writer that was apparently the last black woman at the Post. Now gone because she quoted him.
I saw this earlier about Reddit, Steam, Twitch, Discord being called to congressional hearing or whatever. I'm curious to see which side of this the Congress falls on. Like, is everybody questioning them, or is this just like a right-wing thing? Because I'll be honest, I do believe there are some places, especially on Steam. There's some awful stuff on Steam, to be honest. And Reddit does have some questionable communities. But also the thing is, this goes into free speech. Like what are we talking about here? You know what I mean? Like, there's stuff that people say that I don't like, and we have to fight to inform people about the truth. But also it skates a fine line on what is free speech. Like, what will they allow? And also, I want to remind everyone, Trump said, like, I think the very first week that he was in office, free speech is returned to the United States. I mean, I guess no. I guess it hasn't. I mean, is it the Wild West or is it not the Wild West? I mean, that's really what I'm wondering. Yeah, Neon, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I wonder if they're going to cover that, or is this more of like a right-wing thing where it's like all the leftists on here are bad? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what they're going to do, because if they cover the Nazi shit on Steam, like the what is it? The one now reporting Charlie Kirk people on Steam or whatever, the Charlie Kirk detector.
Hi, it's me, your boyfriend / girlfriend / stay friends, favorite content creator. And we have another detector. Just another detector. And let's just get into it. Just get into it. Okay, so when this started, it only had like 61 followers. Now it has 5,000 followers. This whole thing, again, is because there are people who made tweets about Charlie Kirk. Like, this is what we're doing now. We just make lists now. Well, content detector list, DEI detector list, just all these lists. And here's
now, what would you guys think that the goal of making a list, if you are almost admittedly a fascist and supporting a fascist regime, what do you think of making a list?
To go after and harass people and cancel them. I mean, that's the whole point, right?
Sure, yeah. But like, if let's say the administration got a hold of that, what would the administration do with that kind of list, is what I'm saying.
They would hope that there are people that are not legally here so they can get rid of them. I mean, there's all kinds of ways it could go, to be honest. Yeah.
Everybody loves a list, right? Yeah.
So wait, what was it here? So it's a TOS thing, not a government thing. See, that's the issue though. That would be the same way with like ABC, NBC, all these other things. It should be a corporate thing within their corporate structure. But when the government, like Trump's government, is the most corrupt government I think we've ever had. They will look for every loophole they can to try and get what they want out of somebody, even if it's not legal. So what they will do is they will go, oh, well, you don't want to do what we want, so maybe we don't allow you to do XYZ in the future. Oh, you are going to do what we want. Okay, so you can do whatever you can do that stuff you wanted to do now. That merger you wanted, that particular thing you wanted to do with your socks or whatever. All of that's okay now. But remember in the future when we tell you that we don't like something you're doing, we might not approve something down the road. That's what they do. Yeah. It's basically like mafia level shit. Essentially, is what it is.
Somebody's happy.
And this pretty much dismantles the libertarian idea that we don't need the government. The fact of the matter is, everybody needs the government for something. And this government is exploiting that fact. And they're using that fact to go after free speech in a way that is indirect. So they won't go after you for saying something wrong, although it looks like they're trying to. but they will go after, if you say something wrong on a particular website, they will then go after that website.
Right. So they say, we're not attacking your free speech. You can still say what you want, just not on this website.
Yeah.
The left is desperately trying to gaslight you about Bethesda's Indiana Jones post. What does it have to do with Charlie Kirk? Bethesda knew exactly what they were doing just 3 days after Microsoft's post on the matter. What?
Look, my thing about this is the same thing I said when I spoke with you yesterday about this, is they understand in their mind, they know what like allegories and dog whistling and stuff is. They just don't want to admit when it's on their side. So they're projecting, like they always do, that something must mean something else because that's what we do, right? With the right wingers, whatever we do, like we wouldn't do something without projecting, or dog whistling to somebody. So that must be what they're doing because that's what I would do if I were in their position. It's all projection with them.
This is crazy, dude. Like this fucking post, this particular post and everything. Smash JT. Rumor, was it the community manager at Bethesda who posted the now deleted fascist video? And by the fascist video, it is literally this. You don't care much about those fascists, do you? He's talking to a cat.
By the way, it's Indiana Jones, a famous Nazi puncher. Like that is one of his big things, man.
And they're just like, here's all the information about this person. Could be this person. The company's infested. Oh, that's definitely not historically fucking awesome language.
I also want to point out there should never be a time where you ever defend a company speaking out against fascism and Nazism. Like there should never be a time that you do that in any regard, unless you believe that the person that they're doing it towards is someone you support that is in fact a fascist.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the only reason you would do that. Same thing where I said I posted that thing about paint on the sidewalk, chalk on the sidewalk, and somebody comes in and goes, why is this about Charlie Kirk? No mention of Charlie Kirk whatsoever, but for some reason you think that it is.
Look at this shit. They're fucking pissing them. They're not, because the guys like Jeremy Griggs, these people know exactly what they're doing. They're exercising power. They've got power now, because they can use Charlie Kirk's fucking name to, just essentially manipulate situations.
This is how they do. We've seen this historically for them, right? So let's go Brandon or any of these other phrases that they latch onto. They say this instead of saying what they really want to say. So Charlie Kirk embodies all of the negative stuff that they believe about people. And since they can just say his name everywhere, they can do that and say everything that Charlie Kirk would have said without typing it all out. So RIP Charlie Kirk for them has become like, I'm saying that I hate black people. I hate gay people. You know what I mean? Like for them, that's what this is at this point.
Yeah.
If you want to give yourselves a bit of a laugh, though, and if you want to see somebody really grifting over Charlie Kirk's death, then you guys remember Mike Zero?
I've never covered him, although he got views.
Yeah.
Check out his YouTube at the moment. It is crazy.
It used to be just all fandom stuff. Like it was literally like clickbait Marvel and DC stuff for the longest time. In Star Wars.
All Charlie Kirk now?
Star Trek.
It's all Charlie Kirk.
Well, I've got something that might be crazy.
I know.
You guys, you prepare yourselves for this shit. Trigger warning, Tucker Carlson. But
you hope that Charlie Kirk's death won't be used by a group we now call bad actors to create a society that was the opposite of the one he worked to build. You hope that. You hope that a year from now, the turmoil we're seeing in the aftermath of his murder won't be leveraged to bring hate speech laws to this country. And trust me, if that does happen, there is never a more justified moment for civil disobedience than that, ever. And there never will be. Because they can tell you what to say. They're telling you what to think.
That's what I said. I knew it was going to be crazy. I hadn't heard it, but I read.
Look, again, Tucker Carlson, somebody I don't like, but recently he's had a lot of rational takes about things, and this is one of those moments.
It's weird. It's almost, I don't know.
I think Tucker sees the bigger picture. The bigger picture is he knows he's not getting big money from any of these guys anymore, and he knows that free speech oppression is something that will not just affect people on the left. It's going to affect everybody. So
I see. I don't think Tucker Carlson is much. I mean, he has some fucking shitty beliefs, and that he's not our friend. He's not our ally. We're not going to, say he's a good guy or anything. But he, like Eric is saying, he is a more free agent now. And I think that, like, for instance, I mean, this is the kind of person he is. He is someone who vehemently hated Trump, did not like Trump being president, and yet would, make content for Fox News constantly every day.
Which is probably why he's out of a job now. This is probably why he's been blacklisted, is because all the pro-Trump people don't want to align themselves with Tucker Carlson.
But I mean, here he's right, and he's making a good point. He seems to be actually standing on a principle, or conservative principle. He's standing on what he says Charlie Kirk actually believes, and I think that's wrong. I think Charlie Kirk would love what they're doing right now. I firmly believe that he, if not, I actually
if it was somebody else, Charlie Kirk would be doing the same thing.
Yes. I said yesterday, it's entirely possible, because Charlie Kirk was not a stupid person. He's a very rich person who had a lot of investment in him. He understood that what he was doing could potentially be dangerous. He also just understood, I'm sure, that he could die for whatever reason. And I wouldn't be surprised if this wasn't kind of part of his will.
I don't think he's dog whistling crawling chaos. I don't think Tucker minces words typically.
No, he's saying literally that what's happening is not good.
There is
It's hard to know what his genuine position is on anything, because he will say whatever makes him the most money.
They don't consider you human. They don't believe you have a soul. A human being with a soul, a free man, has a right to say what he believes. Not to hurt other people, but to express his views. You hope that. You hope that Charlie Kirk's death won't be used by a group we now call bad actors.
So yeah, this is a good point. Like, we don't know what his actual agenda is. It could be that he just simply does believe that this is out of line with conservative principles, because it is what their stated views are supposed to be. What they're doing is very much right up against it.
I think for me, my opinions about these guys, I'm very vocal about them. I don't like Tucker Carlson. I don't think he's a good person. I still think he's a garbage person.
He's a piece of shit.
But I think what we have to be aware of is when people on that side are speaking out against things that side is doing, that is ultimately a net positive in the material sense. That means that there are some people in that group that do not buy into Trumpism. You know what I mean? So I'm never going to agree with him on anything socially, but I do agree with him that this is a free speech problem. And I think there are some issues that sides do align on who are actually still on some sort of a side. I think the Trump community is not a side. It's a cabal.
My two theories on this right now that I just kind of realized that, well, one of them is that, as Bob is saying here, Bob, Oldways Bob, that he doesn't, the underlying thing would be that he doesn't have faith in Trump to maintain what he's trying to achieve right now.
Right.
Therefore, Trump goes for this power grab and this clamp down and stuff, and then loses it all. That whatever hate speech laws that get implemented are going to be used in the other direction once Democrats.
Just say that to quote an idiot. If I were a cynical man, I would say that Tucker is worried that eventually the Democrats will get in, and any hate speech law that the conservatives write can be used against people like Tucker Carlson.
I would go even further than that. I think he believes that anyone who doesn't like Trump who's on the right will also get censored if these hate speech laws come out. So right now it would affect his livelihood, because if those hate speech laws go into effect, they could essentially be like, you can't talk bad about Trump, and then he would lose his livelihood. So I think there is a little bit of self-preservation in the present tense, like he's worried about it happening while Trump is still in power.
Then there's the other thing, which Fieldy brings up, and I have seen this suggested for various hints previously. So there was he was being interviewed by somebody, or he interviewed somebody, and they'd said something about, what about running for president? And he goes, oh no, he does this silly laugh. He's like, oh no, he's like, no, I'm not going to run for president. And they're like, well, what, why not? And he's like, well, I would have to be called by God to do that. To me, I watching that, I was like, oh well, he's not going to run for president then. I guess whoever it was in the video that posted the video was commenting on it, was like, that's him setting the stage for being called by God to run for president. Yep. And I was like, damn. that might be accurate. So yeah, it could be that that's part of it, the calculation that he doesn't want to. He was against this, so he can say that he's against it whenever it comes time to campaign. Who knows? But one thing we know for sure, he's not to be trusted. His intentions, his goals are not aligned with the general working class, the people, average person. So yeah. I mean, look, the government might own TikTok by the end of this week. That's not good, you know.
Well, we know that they are circumventing a government-owned TikTok by having a company that the government is aligned with owning TikTok. So it's essentially the same thing. Again, a corrupt government, like I said before. It's a corrupt government.
Yeah, kind of like how Trump divested all of his business interests whenever he was president.
I also want to point out that I said from the get-go that the value of TikTok is in the algorithm and the globalization of TikTok. Once you remove those two things, it becomes of no value, which is why that idea of having an American-only TikTok was never going to happen, because the market value of it would be so low, there'd be no point. So I think they realized that. And, money changed hands behind the scenes, which is why nobody's really been talking about it. And essentially what's going to happen is, for American users on TikTok, everything will just look and seem the same, and you'll never know anything changed. Except behind the scenes, somebody's pockets are getting lined by money coming through from TikTok as essentially keep quiet money for them so they can keep running in the United States. That's pretty much what it is.
It's hard to tell. It's it's kind of impossible. And I don't think that he would be as chaotic, but he could be more effective.
Yeah, I don't think he's as dumb as Trump, and I don't know if that's necessarily good or bad, because he could be more effective.
At the same time, kind of the same thing with JD Vance. Well, not exactly, because JD Vance is very unlikable. Tucker could pose a threat with having a good following of people that get behind him. Whereas, I don't think Trump's people are going to just map onto fucking Vance.
Not at all. I don't think that's true. Yeah, I think that they would do kind of what's happening with Kirk now, is they would have people that would try and carry on the legacy, as we say when somebody is carrying on something, the legacy of someone, trying to latch onto that and use that for themselves. We would see something along those lines, but I don't think, as the kids say today, that Vance has the riz to do it. So I don't think that exists for him.
You keep talking about legacy, and it's like,
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
You mean like knockoff characters?
Yeah. Pretty much. But I do have to jump out of here. I have to work tonight, so I have to run.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here too.
But
it's a good time to end it.
We've covered a lot. All kind of in the same vein, but there's lots of big stuff happening just because of this one fucking event.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a scary time. All I can say is hang in there.
Yeah,
do what you can, help people where you can.
The question you have to ask yourself is,
What kind of American are you?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Everything in that movie is coming true. It's all coming true.
Hopefully not that one. Jesus Christ. It's a pretty alarming movie. I don't know if y'all have seen that.
California is setting itself up.
Yeah.
Self-sustained at the end of the day. So they're even working with the West Coast. I'm not sure if it's your state or not, Dane, but up on the West Coast, apparently some healthcare legislation through several states that will do like a universal healthcare system within those states that doesn't rely on the federal government. So
yeah, they're setting up just like a commission on started with vaccines, just to make sure that whatever is done federally is not going to be an issue here in Oregon, Washington, California, maybe Idaho. I don't know. Probably not Idaho. I'll have to look.
Probably not.
Also remember,
He's gonna be playing notes for a while. He's gonna be playing.
He's still going.
Yeah.
I do have a 2.5 minute video here that is, I guess, relevant to what we've talked about quite a bit, that I'll show here at the end of the stream. But I'm gonna go pee and then be done. So thank you guys. If you look in the description of whatever stream you're watching on, there should be several channels linked. So everybody on stream here is linked, as well as others that are often on stream or sometimes. Subscribe to them. Subscribe to me. Subscribe to Airrick. Get us him over 7K, me over 8K, and then get him over 8K. and then we'll finally be enough.
Yes,
And
yes.
then there's Bob.
Bob.
Yeah.
Bob. Bob. Bob.
Bob.
Bob.
Bob.
Bob.
Many times. Jesus Christ! Stop saying Bob.
Listen. I don't say this lightly, but if you get us all to over 100K subscribers by the end of the month, I will let them ride me into the sunset or whatever.
Oh wow! And what are we gonna do? Just like ride Bob into the sky? Yes.
Into the sky. That's it. Yeah. Whatever. We'll make that happen. Okay.
set
Just
me
get us
up.
all to 100K by the end of the month. Yeah, so-
If we don't get to, if Bob doesn't get to that, then well,
How would you like to die today, Bob?
Oh fuck!
If you-
Please, please.
If you're looking for a Halloween costume this year, Bob, get that blonde wig.
Oh god. But yeah, I got a Nerdrotic video coming out just like Eric, so you get a double punch of Nerdrotic. We apologize, but yes. Then I got podcasts, I got streams coming up next week. It's exciting.
yep. That's what we should do for sure.
You know, I'll be
Bob and-
honest. I'm probably not going to get a Halloween costume this year because I don't have the kids this year. So
Bob's your uncle, allegedly. All right. Ryan is
No.
nothing but media. You can subscribe to him as well, and you should. He doesn't do any of this politicized crap that we do. You know, he's neutral over there. He's unbiased. He just talks about good old fashioned media that never had any kind of perspective in it that was challenging or contrary to popular views or anything like that, right?
Politics in any of the stuff I cover at all, even the one coming up in a couple of weeks, which is about government surveillance, which is completely apolitical.
I mean, one of the things I love about watching Star Trek is how apolitical it is. It's just never any politics in it.
Yeah. What was the thing you mentioned earlier? Just talk about that. The original series incident that.
Oh, the Edith Keeler thing, sitting on the edge of forever. Probably my favorite original series episode. You know, when Kirk had to let Edith Keeler die to prevent the rise of fascism in the United States.
Oh, wow. Apparently he let her live in this time.
Yes, that's the timeline we're in, guys.
Cool.
God damn it, Kirk. Our Kirk sucks.
Man, why is Obama post on X? That doesn't seem like it's very friendly to him. Anyways, yeah, you guys are fun. Love talking to y'all. Have a good one. Here's this video clip. You should stay and watch this, guys.
Everybody knows who Charlie Kirk is. If they don't know the name, they know the face.
And he's reaching millions with these pearls of wisdom.
White, college indoctrinated women will ruin America if we let them. Most college degrees are meaningless, and most of you guys are being totally scammed by being here. I'm sorry, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
What makes Charlie Kirk so effective on a campus like this?
I just think it's all the research he's done, all the statistics that he has to back it up.
I think he just really knows his stuff.
The guy's consistent.
He's consistent.
He's like TikTok. I love TikTok. 3 months ago, I hate TikTok. So his consistency can flip here and there. But even if Charlie Kirk doesn't seem to believe the things he says, for some students, he was the only one speaking to their concerns.
A couple of years ago, I started finding more people because I got so tired of this not being able to speak my mind. So I needed to find people that actually knew how to say things to a I'm forgetting the words. I'm sorry.
You needed somebody to be more articulate for you.
Yes, because you see me like right now, I can't put words together. So
You're looking for somebody to put words in your mouth.
yes.
Gotcha.
Well, not like that exactly.
That's what I was doing right there.
Yes.
What I'm talking about is what Charlie Kirk kind of does inside.
Yes.
Yes, he puts the words in your mouth.
Yeah, making enough sense for me so I memorize what he says, then I can freely say it to
Exactly. So basically, his words become your own.
Yes.
His thoughts become your own.
It's awesome.
And some of those beautifully crafted words play great as clickbait online.
What is a woman? What is a woman? It's not a trick question. What is a woman?
He always asks liberals, like, what is a woman?
Yeah, we literally saw like 5 or 10 minutes ago.
You got to see alive what is a woman.
Finally, he was like, all right, give me your definition. What is a woman?
How do you define what a woman is?
I think it's just genetics.
I go with like a woman is somebody who sues Donald Trump for sexual assault. 31-year-old Kirk and the billionaires who fund him are successfully influencing young minds and making those young minds skeptical of anyone else trying to influence young minds.
Beto O'Rourke has been to campus probably like 5 times. I don't know why he's still coming here.
Feels like groomers.
Yes.
You have somebody like Beto O'Rourke, you have like an adult man come to a campus trying to groom somebody around his own political ideology.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
That shouldn't happen at all.
No, it shouldn't.
That's why it's refreshing to have somebody like Charlie Kirk come to campus and bring his like 30-year-old mentality here to shape the minds of tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Like, what, like the thing where you like, right, you do that, you sprinkle it on top. It adds a little like spice, actually. Yeah. It comes, you guys should try it.